Ah, my stream deck's moved. I can't reach it. I cannot reach the stream deck. This might just be audio only tonight. There's too many cups on my desk. This is getting ridiculous. I can't reach the stream deck. Hold on, I've moved some things. There we go. Oh, I thought this was just going to be a radio show. Move the mugs. You move the mugs. It's Thursday's the new Friday. I'm not moving mugs on Thursday. This is with my new stream schedule. This feels like the last day of term. I've got all my videos recorded for the week. This is my last stream of the week. I've got to do a vlog tomorrow. A vlog, obviously it's not an actual vlog. But, oh, I've got hiccups. And I've got to do a little bit more planning and polishing on the Bourne series. But I'm nearly finished work for the week. This is revolutionary. Hello folks, welcome to the pre-stream stream. This is where the cool kids hang. And I'm learning how to do work-life balance. I'm going to have the weekend off this week. I probably won't have the weekend off. Because I think what I've actually decided to do is I've got so far ahead in the planning for Born in the USA that rather than having the weekend off like I planned, I'm going to spend the weekend making episode 1 and get that out on Monday. I think that's the plan. But how are we all? Are we all good? Is everybody having a lovely day and a lovely week and a lovely old time? I hope so. I've hurt my back. Really hurt my back. We had our shopping delivered today, and as you'll know, after much discussion on the stream in recent weeks, my kitchen is upstairs because I live in a wonderful house where everything is backwards. So the Tesco order gets dropped off at my front door, and then I have to carry it all up the stairs, which isn't normally a problem. But today I was in a rush and I tried to save time. So I had a box of 24 cans of Pepsi Max. Anna drinks Pepsi. She's a monster. And a 6-pack of 2-litre water bottles. And I just put one on top of the other and thought, I'll just take them both together. It'll be fine. I'm a big, strong boy and bent over to pick them up. And just my back went, oh, Kev. Oh, Kev, you remember you've had 3 slip discs in the past, right? And my knees kind of buckled out from under me and I crumpled, just curled up on the floor going, So now I'm not going to need much in the way of posture checks tonight because I am going to have to sit completely upright the whole time. And I'm all right sitting like this, as long as my leg doesn't start to go numb. I might have to get up and walk around partway through, though. Not fun. How do I get the Patreon role on Discord? If you just have to make sure that your Patreon account and your Discord account are linked. And then as long as you're on the Patreon and your Patreon's linked to your Discord, you'll automatically get access to the VIP section on the Discord. That goes for anyone who's a Patreon member, a YouTube channel member, a Twitch sub. It's the same VIP lounge for everybody. So as long as you have the appropriate account linked up to your Discord account, you'll get access to the VIP section and the fancy coloured name that goes with it. Lift with your knees, Kev. Problem is my knees are shot. My knees are ruined. My knee still hasn't recovered from slipping in the snow, so I can't really squat at the moment. I try and squat, and it just feels like someone's slicing across the front of my knee with a knife. So I can't really do it. Born in the USA is Non-League Legend over. Non-League Legend finishes tomorrow, so that's episode tomorrow. Dan's asked me to do a posture check anyway, so we'll just straighten up even more. It's fine, I'm 22 and my back goes all the time. I hate it. Yeah, the first time I did my back, I think I was 20. That was the first time I had a slip disc, and now it just regularly goes. Rugby killed my knees and back. I think I'm the same. I played a lot of rugby when I was younger. My knees are just pickled, just ruined, and my back is just a mess as well. I think a combination of doing a lot of violent sports when I was younger and then being as big and heavy as I am now and not really exercising much anymore. The combination of all that means all my joints are a little bit ruined, especially my knees and my lower back. They've just had enough. They're like, Kev, lose 15 stone. Probably not 15 stone. I'd probably look a little unusual if I was like 8.5 stone, 8 stone. But still, lose 10 stone, Kev. Hope your knee gets better. Realistically, I don't think it's going to. I tore my ACL about 5-6 years ago and never had the surgery. And it just kind of healed by itself. Healed. And then I slipped in the snow like a month ago now, and it just felt like I retore it. And I haven't been to the doctors because, you know, the NHS are busy at the moment. But it feels like I've definitely re-injured the same old injury. And it's always been weak ever since I didn't have the surgery last time. So, yeah, I'm a mess. I am a mess. Summers, thank you very much for the sub. You can exercise at home, don't need to go to the gym. I disagree. I do need to go to the gym. I can't exercise at home because I won't do it. I am very much a creature of habit, a situational person. Home is not where I exercise. I exercise other places. If I have a place where I have to go to exercise, I'll go there every day and I'll exercise every day. If I'm at home, I'll just put it off. It's just the way I am. Rob, thank you for the sub. Right, if you missed last night's stream, boys and girls, we did the transfers last night. We also bottled the playoffs, but we're not going to talk about that. The important thing is we did transfers. We did some good transfers too. We managed to sign one of our channel members, Charlie Barnacle, on loan. Ethan Delcroix came back from Ross County. We got Andy Reid, the little fat moron, back in again. We've got a youngster from Liverpool. Everything is looking really rather splendid. We've got a big pile of cash in the bank, and all is looking good. But then we lost our first game of the season. We lost against Inverness. Everything looked like the world was ending. But then we played Livingston. Bearing in mind, Livingston are the team we bottled against on the last day of last season. If we'd have beaten Livingston on the last day of the season, we'd have got promoted as champions. We didn't, and that's how we ended up in the playoffs. But the one-armed swan, amongst others, got his revenge on Livingston with 4 goals and a perfect 10, meaning that after 2 games, this is what the Scottish Championship looks like. The other news that we've got is we did add a bunch more leagues last night. So we've taken Ireland and Northern Ireland out because we're in the Scottish Championship now. Realistically, we're not going to drop down to Northern Ireland or Ireland. So we've taken them out, but we've added Austria, Russia, Holland, Turkey, and Portugal as potential next destinations. Because I don't really want to go to England. I've been in England loads this year. Plus, I've been in Scotland so long now, I'm developing a real disdain for the English. So my thinking is, if we don't get promoted this season, we are going to jump ship to one of these other leagues. I don't know which one. It will depend on what jobs are available at the time. But if we get promoted, we'll probably do... I am out of focus. Why am I out of focus? Is that better? There you go. Don't know why I was out of focus. That's not fully in focus yet either. Hold on. We need to go to focus. My focus thing. Hold on. This is the wrong one. This is the one we use for focusing, but we do it in 4K normally. So let's just bring this down a little bit. Seeing behind the curtain, this is my focusing scene. We hold this book up like that. Try and focus perfectly on the book. I'm in the way. Why am I in the way? I normally hold this with the other hand. What is going on? I'm focusing the wrong camera. That's still the wrong camera. That's why it's making no difference. Hold on. Let's try this one. You know what? Go back to this one and focus on the camera. I normally make it bigger to focus so I can see better. I think that's about in focus. Jamie, thank you very much for the sub. Are we on a hype train? Beautiful. Love a hype train. Should probably rename the save since it's no longer UK and Ireland. I mean, it literally is still at the moment. We've still only been in the UK, so UK and Ireland still counts. I like your suit. Thank you very much. How long have I done this? I've never had to focus the camera in the middle of a stream before, apart from last night when it turned off midway through. That camera might be giving up on me. That was my first ever proper DSLR camera. That was my 80D that I got when I first started daily vlogging. So that camera I've had since probably March, April time 2017. So it's been used for most of the day, every day for the last 4 years. It's been thrown around in the back of the car. It's been chucked into bags. It's had stuff spilt on it. It's been out in the rain. It's been left on all day for the last year while I've been using it as my main YouTube camera. It's probably due a replacement. I should retire it, pin it to the wall. New cam to go with my new PC. Well, I've not got a new PC. I don't think I need a new PC now. I've adjusted the settings of the game and I think we're all right. There's no point in me ordering a new PC at the moment because all the good stuff's out of stock everywhere. I'll just wait until after COVID and get a new PC. I don't want to have to wait for 2 PCs all the way through lockdown. My streaming PC, I had to wait like 6 weeks for that to be made. I can't cope with waiting that long. I'd rather just wait a different way. But I do think a new camera is probably on the horizon. Although, to be honest, I could probably use the 90D that I replaced that with for the vlog. Now, I'm not vlogging. That's just sitting in a cupboard, so I could probably just put that one in. How much would I have to donate to see you do a Luton Town save? It wouldn't really be about donations. I'll just maybe do a Luton save. I mean, if you gave me like 10 grand on the condition I manage Luton, I probably would, but I'm not going to do it for 50 quid, for example. So, you know, it would take an amount of money too large for me to turn down. I can't wait, so I'll wait. Exactly. I don't mind waiting to order it. Once I've ordered it, I can't cope with waiting to receive it. Blame Bitcoin for the high price out of stock GPUs. It's not just Bitcoin, is it? It's part Bitcoin, part they brought new ones out whilst they had production issues because of COVID. But I'm not going to blame Bitcoin for anything. I love Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a wonderful thing. Bitcoin's going to buy me a speedboat. Kev's Bitcoin portfolio. Can you call it a portfolio when there's only one thing in it? My Bitcoin portfolio is the highest it's ever been right now. Well, it was this morning when I looked. Probably crashed again. Crypto's so much fun. Dun, dun, bum, bum. Dun. Come on, boys. We haven't scored for ages. Give it to the one-armed swan. He's good at doing a football. That was a pathetic attempt at a counter-attack. It was all going so well, then he just slowed down and ran into one of their players. Were Falkirk in this league last year? I don't feel like I remember playing them at any point. Eagles, thank you for the bits. The one-armed swan just scored as well. Told you the one-armed swan was good. Nobody would listen to me. But I have now informed you the one-armed swan is good. And he has responded with a lovely old goal. Splendid stuff. Had to get over the next level. Is there levels? Oh, what, for the hype train? Is that what you mean? Otherwise, I don't know what you mean. Oh, I can't lean forward. Oh, my poorly back. Oh, dear. Oh, need to adjust the foot. What did I think of AEW last night? Oh, it was all right. It's always a good show. It was a good show again. Certainly more watchable than any of the WWE shows have been for years. Good evening. How are you and the family? We're all good, thank you. Got another posture check to do. There you go. Posture check is all good. I wouldn't need the posture checks if it wasn't for carrying stuff up the stairs. I will hydrate though. That's a good idea. Delicious. Oh look, it's Charlie Barnacle. Is Charlie Barnacle in tonight? More importantly, is Reese in tonight after he had 7 goals past his defence last night at the end of the stream. Have we got to make a substitution? Who's injured? Terrell Whitaker's injured. Okay. What did I have to carry? Just beverages. The majority of our Tesco food shop each week is beverages. Because we get all our meals. Most of the food that I eat is Huel or Gusto. So stuff that comes separate to the Tesco delivery. So most of our delivery is Andy's crisps and fish fingers and waffles and all that stuff. And then all of the beverages that I like to consume. I am a beverage fan. What's this about Ukraine? I realised when I started the stream, I haven't even got Ukraine loaded. But if we don't get promoted this year, we're going to go and manage somewhere else. And Ukraine was one of the options we discussed last night, although it looks like we ended up adding Russia and Austria instead of Ukraine. Yeah, we might end up in Ukraine. Just not this year. Kev has poor posture because he carries the FM YouTube scene. Exactly. I mean, it's true, and that's what makes it even worse. I was designing the thumbnails for or trying to design a new thumbnail for the new Born series this afternoon. In the end, it's going to be very similar to the Born one from last year, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I googled Football Manager, or didn't Google, I went on YouTube and searched for Football Manager. Oh, my back is really uncomfortable. I don't know how long I'm streaming for tonight, boys and girls. Yeah, I went onto YouTube, searched for Football Manager to see what was cool in thumbnails at the moment, and like 5 of the top 10 videos were mine. That's no use. Can someone compete with me so that I can steal your ideas? What is the point? I can't just copy off myself. I need to see what other people are doing in the thumbnail realm. I can't do Work the Space style thumbnails because I haven't got his Photoshop ability. I don't want to do this weird trend in thumbnails where it's not even obvious they're Football Manager videos, because that goes against everything I know about how to get clicks. There's some very, very pretty football thumbnails out there these days, but they're not very clickable. Oh, I've got to try this one again, haven't I? The Davy Scoop. That's the right way around, isn't it? Have I got that right this time? If not, I might just have to ban you. Which is a little harsh when you've just said you've ordered a home shirt, but I can't make a fool out of myself every month like this. That's the right way! Hooray! There you go. You don't need to get banned. When you add a league, does it add straight away? It adds when that league ticks over to a new season. So the majority of them are already in. I don't think Russia is in yet, maybe. Ordered a shirt and a tier 2 sub. Yeah, that's probably a good reason not to ban him, I guess. Go on then, you've escaped a ban. Dante Casanova from the penalty spot, who did have a cameo in the home episode today. Dante Casanova, championship player for home. Not for home, in the home series. Had to catch a stream finally. Just found out my girlfriend been seeing someone for the last 2 weeks, and that they got so many. Well, that's nice, isn't it? But I mean, not that I want to tell you how to live your life, but you've still described you as your girlfriend there. You're a more forgiving man than I am, if that's the case. Hope everything works out for you. Plus, I'm on your Patreon. Can't wait to see my name in the credits soon. It will be, yeah. I should probably update them before I start the Born series, shouldn't I? I do update them like 4 or 5 times a year nearly. I'm terrible at updating the credits. It's a nightmare. Falkirk, or Falk, as their actual name is. It's Falk versus Clyde. Falk have just scored a goal. Good job we got that penalty. We are currently maintaining our lead. Choo choo. Did we do a hype train? Choo 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 choo. Good evening from Spain. Good evening to Spain. Oh, Charlie Barnacle's injured. But he has just won a penalty, I think. Oh, he hasn't. Penalties just don't seem to happen anymore. Ooh. Hello from Greece. Hello to Greece. It's an international special tonight. This girl at school keeps talking to me the last couple of weeks, which doesn't play FM. Feel like this is an instant no. See, I don't know if I could cope if Anna did play Football Manager. You gotta have your own things. You can't do everything together. If Anna was as into Football Manager as I am, we'd never be apart, because we share pretty much all of our other interests. You have to have things you do on your own, or else you'll end up killing each other. Hello from Northern Ireland. Hello to Northern Ireland. How have we managed to throw this game away? We haven't. Oh, we have. We have. Hello from the true south of England. What, like Brighton? The Isle of Wight is the true south of England, isn't it? Below the M4. Weird. They're all weird down that way, I've heard. Hello from South Africa. Hi from Glasgow. Hello from England. Doesn't sound quite as impressive. It doesn't. Make it sound grander. Hello from the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Hello from Birmingham. Hello to Birmingham. Birmingham's awesome. I like Birmingham. Oh, I say I like Birmingham. I like the NEC and I like the Bullring. And I like New Street Station because it's got a John Lewis in, which still baffles me. Peterborough Station's got an overpriced greasy spoon and vending machines. Birmingham New Street Station has a John Lewis and a moleskin shop. Ridiculous. Hello from the north of Scotland. Hello from Cambridge, Massachusetts. Now, if you logged in via NordVPN, you could all be in Antarctica. That's a very good point. You should all quickly switch your NordVPNs to Antarctica now. Hello from the North Atlantic Archipelago. Hello from the moon. Hello from... I mean, I'm just going to say Gothenburg because I'm English. Is that how you say it in Swedish? Probably isn't, is it? By the way, exciting upcoming sponsors news. While we're talking about sponsors, because someone mentioned NordVPN, which they are a sponsor of the stream, as ever. ! NordVPN if you want to get a discount on the best VPN on the internet. It's really good. But we have a couple of awesome sponsors coming up soon. We're doing a sponsored stream next week, I think it is. It might be the week after, where you'll we're gonna play a mobile game together again, and it's not the one we played before that we fell out with. So that's going to be exciting. And also, coming up in the not too distant future, I'm finally going to get paid to talk about my testicles. And I'm excited about that one too. I talk about them every day anyway, but I finally, after all these years, I'm going to get paid for it. I didn't fall out with Raid. It's just the last campaign we did with them was a bit weird and it didn't really work. The new one is with the same people. It's just a different game that they make. I don't know if I need you talking about your balls more than you already do. Well. Well. I can't at the moment say, I can't fully confirm either of them because the contracts aren't signed yet. Starting off unemployed and took the under-21s Ireland job. Good idea or not? Probably a boring idea because you play so infrequently, and if you find anyone who's any good, they'll just get called up to the full side. Please tell me I can skip it in a video. No, I won't tell you that at all. Because you shouldn't be skipping it. You should be watching my sponsors and then supporting my sponsors. All this free content you get. Watch a damn 90-second advert and click on their website and have a look. It's the least you can do. Hydrate. I will hydrate. Will it include the exploding penis story? I don't think I can shoehorn that in. I might try, but I feel like when I send the clip for approval, that might be the point where they say, yeah, take the bit about the exploding penis out, please. Thanks. It's supporting my sponsors, also now supporting my balls. I mean, it's always been about supporting my balls, because when I did my first big brand deal, I went out and bought some fancy supportive underpants. So, you know, you're always indirectly supporting my balls. Posture check. There we go. Anyone else taking advantage of FM being on Xbox Game Pass? Everybody should be. I can't because I already bought it on Xbox when it first came out so that I could make my review on it. Yeah, you should. I mean, it's if you've got an Xbox, you should have Game Pass. And if you've got Game Pass, you should have downloaded FM by now, even if you've already got it on Steam. Because the more people who download it on Xbox, the more likely they are to do stuff like this in the future. And I've got hiccups. Oh, is it on a second channel vid? The testicle talk is on a video, yeah, on the Kevin Chapman channel, and the game will be on a sponsored stream. Game Pass PC too. Yeah, I mean, it's all the same thing, isn't it? Remember, Xbox isn't a console anymore. Xbox is a service. I haven't owned a physical Xbox for a number of years now because I have a gaming PC, so I just do all my Xbox stuff on there. I still play more games on Xbox than PlayStation. I have a PS5. Even the full game is free on Game Pass, not just the touch version. Yeah. Yeah, they're both on there. I mean, they've done that the last few years on Game Pass, haven't they? It's early in the cycle, I think. You keep FM after the month. It's on Game Pass. I mean, it's only on Game Pass for a month. I mean, Game Pass games, once you've got them, you've got them. As far as I'm aware. Oh, how did I know that Mr. Caveman would prefer physical consoles and actual discs? Because he hates trees. Give me physical discs and burn down a forest while you're there. And give me a nice big fire hazard in my house. Because you realise, if you like, you don't have to be on the internet to play it. Once you've got it, you download it. You're not streaming it all the time. It's just like when you buy Football Manager on Steam. You can't get a physical copy of Football Manager anymore. If you buy a boxed copy of Football Manager, all it is a cardboard sleeve with a code inside. Isn't it? I think that's what it was last time I checked. There might be a disc in there still, which is pointless because discs are dumb. How'd you go from I want a disc to me hating trees? The logic there confuses me. Because if you want discs, you hate the environment. Therefore, you hate trees. Burn the forests down. Put more petrol in my car. Give me plastic carrier bags. You lose them when they remove them from Game Pass. My FM20 was removed. Is that so? I don't really know how it works. My last two PCs didn't even have a CD-ROM. Yeah, mine, my MacBook doesn't have one. My previous MacBook didn't have one. My two PCs I've got now don't have one. The PC I had before this didn't have. I haven't had a disk drive in a computer for at least 10 years, I should think. At least. And yeah, as soon as I had the opportunity to buy a console without one, I did that too. So I have the digital-only PS5. Sent you a news story of a man grabbing a seagull after it stole his chip. Nice. Bring back the floppy disk. Nah, you're right. I think you need to be connected to the internet to play it on Xbox, and you need to keep your Game Pass subscription going to use it. I mean, surely nobody's ever cancelling a Game Pass subscription. It's the best value in gaming. I've had my Game Pass Ultimate subscription from the moment it was announced and would never dream of cancelling it. Because it's just brilliant. I'm watching Clyde back on YouTube. I need to ask, what was the cause of the door? Murderer. Yeah, I got murdered. This is Ghost Kev talking to you. Right, we're losing. We had that one good game. And now we're not very good. More. Oh, my poorly back. We don't start winning some games, I'm going to have to end the stream because my back hurts. I was sat there freaking out as much as you. Yeah, it was pretty scary. I imagine it was just wind. What is going on? Ah! What have I done to my back? I hurt it carrying things up the stairs. It's very sore. Plus, I still haven't got my new chair yet, which is a work in progress, apparently. I want my new chair, and I want my back to stop hurting. Why is the one-armed swan called that? Because he broke his arm. Lessons learned, don't carry things up the stairs. Problem is, I was carrying cans of beverages and the fridge is upstairs. So it was either hurt my back or drink warm drinks all week. So I had a decision to make, and cold drinks are important. That's why your kitchen should be downstairs. But if my kitchen was downstairs, I wouldn't have an office. We searched high and low for a house like this where I could have an office 2 floors away from Andy's and our bedroom. And the payoff for that is that we weren't able to be fussy about where the kitchen was. Want to get a can crusher in my office? No. I've got a can crusher upstairs. I don't need one in my office. It's called old age. It's called being really unfit. Have a fridge for cold drinks downstairs. That's the best solution we've come up with so far. If I had a slightly bigger office, I'd have a fridge in here. But because I already work in a little broom cupboard, I'm in the cupboard under the stairs like Harry Potter. There's not really anywhere to put one. I guess I could put one in the utility room. How many cans are on my desk right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There are 18 cans on my desk at the moment. Which is getting on for a week's worth. I really need to get on with that. And get that sorted. But, you know, clean your desk. My desk is clean. It's just got cans on it. Cans aren't dirty. Put one next door in the mega office. Someone else just bought the mega office. I'm devastated. How much Diet Coke do I drink in a day? 2 or 3 cans, probably. So is 18 a week's worth? 2. What's 3? Yeah, it's just it's about a week's worth. Desk with clutter equals dirty desk. See, I've proved people wrong about that nonsense of a statement before. Dirt and clutter are very different things. Very, very different things. Things can be untidy and clean, just like things can be tidy and dirty. They're not interchangeable words. I drink 3 cans of Iron Brew a day. Ugh. Ugh. I've not drunk 3 cans of Iron Brew in my life. Have I ever done an Eastern European save in the Ukraine or Serbia? I don't think so. I probably will at some point. We'll probably end up over there in this save. Have I not got a mini fridge in my office? No, I've barely got room for my computers in my office. I've tried Monster. I don't like energy drinks. Oh, that was a fan day. Excellent. Good job we won in the end. I don't really like energy drinks. Anna's trying to persuade me that I'll like that sneak stuff that's for all the cool gamer kids. But that just looks even worse. I'm not an energy drink guy. Drink of choice, coffee. And if I've had enough coffee for the day, Diet Coke. And if I've not had a real drink all day, water. Careful be snorting G Fuel in 2 weeks' time. I probably won't. I've turned down energy drink sponsorships before. I've made that sound like there's been more than one. An energy drink company offered to sponsor, and I turned them down because I don't like energy drinks. And I didn't want to be a hypocrite. That being said, I hadn't tried their energy drink, so it might have been delicious, but... I never drink tea or coffee. I am brew all the way. I have energy drinks because I can't stand coffee. I cannot understand how different your tongue can be from my tongue. Because coffee is delicious. Genuinely delicious. And energy drinks just taste like sugary water. And I really don't like the taste of sugary things. Can't stand sugar in my hot drinks. Can't stand the full sugar, like soft drinks. I always have the diet ones. Just sugar in general. I'm not a sugar guy. Which I guess is for the best. I'm not asking you to convince me to start upping my sugar intake. How do I drink my coffee? In large quantities. I have an espresso machine, so I usually just make a couple of espressos in that and then top up with some hot water for an Americano. But if I want to be fancy, I can do like a foamy, milky thing on top of it. But I very, very rarely do that. I'm pretty much just a hot and coffee-ish. All the youth drink Monster. Yeah, that's why they're such a broken generation. Nespresso needs to sponsor me. They do. I've never seen Nespresso sponsor anybody. They're not really a brand aiming at a YouTube demographic, are they? They're a brand for old people. I think once I get a full grey beard, I'll have a better chance of an Nespresso sponsorship. The fact I wear a suit means that I might get on their radar. But I spend so much money with them. If they just gave me half-price coffee for life, half-price coffee for a year, and I'll sponsor them for it. I'll let them sponsor me for a year for that. That would save me loads of money. Today's Thursday. It is, aka New Friday. My girlfriend used to live on Monster, but when she started on antidepressants, she was told she couldn't drink it. 5 years later, she's still devastated. Surely she's over the addiction now and realizes it was disgusting. You're a has-been movie actor, then Nespresso is for me. Well, hopefully when I'm a has-been YouTuber, Nespresso will come knocking. That will be the one big deal I do before I hang up my microphone. The whole career is building up to that. I've got to do Diet Coke along the way to Nespresso, surely. I've talked about Diet Coke longer than I have Nespresso. You think that, but no, I still have to police her if we go to the shop. That's mad. Sent you a link. Yeah, you've mentioned I'm not looking at links at the moment. I'll have a look in a bit. At the moment, I'm trying to get as many matches as possible played while my back holds out. Wraith need to get lost. They're trying to take the one-armed swan off me. I don't think we're going to be doing a full 3-hour stream tonight, so I want to get some matches in. If the back starts to loosen off, because the problem is I can't take anti-inflammatory stuff. Can't like have an ibuprofen because I'm on blood pressure medication. You can't have ibuprofen if you take blood pressure medication or anything from the ibuprofen family. And I don't like to take painkillers. Anyone who was listening to the podcast years ago when I had my kidney stones and I was forced to take painkillers will know that painkillers... This is why I don't drink alcohol. Even like a couple of paracetamol, I just feel weird. I don't like anything that changes my brain in any way. So I usually just sit and grumble, and I might put some deep heat on it, and that'll be it. Pack it in and go to bed. Thing is, going to bed at 7:30 won't help, because then I'll be in bed for like 11 hours and I'll be stiff as a board when I wake up in the morning. Plus my back will hurt. Yeah, you can't stay in one position for too long. So staying in this chair for as long as I can, and then going and walking around the garden, and then going to bed. I might get 4 or 5 hours sleep then before the pain wakes me up. And then I'll sit back at the chair for it. Basically, I just have to keep moving between the chair and lying down. And I was lying down before I started. It's going to be uncomfortable wherever I am and whatever I'm doing. It'll be fine in a few days, hopefully. I used to have an employee who drank 2 Monsters, an extra large Tim Hortons coffee, and Starbucks energy shot every morning. Nice. Calpol. Calpol's just paracetamol, isn't it? I don't really take any painkillers. Can't swallow pills, or just throw them back up. Fair enough. I have no issue with taking pills. I take my 3 blood pressure pills every day. I just don't like painkillers. Nice to see the return of Kev Maths this morning. One day I'll make an actual overlay for Kev Maths. I keep meaning to, and then I never get around to it. This is the sort of thing that you'd have if I ever got an editor. But I'm never going to get an editor. Just can't bring myself to... I value money more than time. That's my problem. Can't bring myself to pay someone else to do something that I can do to a perfectly acceptable level when I've got the time to do it. If it got to the point where I couldn't get all my videos out, I might get an editor. But at the moment, I'm releasing, like, across the channels, 13 videos a week and 12 hours of streaming a week. That's, I think I'm doing all right getting that edited. Doctor prescribed painkillers for my arthritis. Hated my brain being dulled. So I just take Aleve and... what is Aleve? Yeah, I'm exactly the same way. My brain is my favourite thing. So I don't like anything that stops me being able to use my brain the way I like to use it. Why I don't drink. It's why I don't take painkillers. It's why I don't take drugs. All that kind of stuff. I don't like... Oh, ibuprofen. Yeah, see, I can't have that. I used to take that before I had the blood pressure problem. Or before it was diagnosed, anyway. From what the doctors have said, I've probably had the blood pressure issue all my life. Naproxen. Naproxen's still the ibuprofen anti-inflammatory family, isn't it? Come on, should we do a football? What I need is like a spine transplant. Do they do them? I need a spine and knee transplants. If I could get 2 new knees and a new spine, then I'd be fine. I enjoy partying too much to not drink. I mean, I hear people saying stuff like that. I don't really get it because as a non-drinker, I also enjoy parties and partying. I just don't need to get drunk to do it. I can go out and have a good time without booze. I understand, Kenneth. The arthritis is in my neck. Yikes. You can party without alcohol. The opposite is a myth. Exactly. Of course you can. I like a drink with my friends, but I don't see the point in getting drunk. Yeah, I mean, I'll like when I'm away at events and stuff, I'll go to the pub with or the hotel bar, or you know, I don't shy away from alcohol. It's not that I despise alcohol. I just prefer not to drink it myself. So I'll just go and have an orange juice or a Coke or something, or coffee. That's the one that always confuses people. I get mocked for that one. If we go out to a bar, it's all right if we're at a hotel bar because they'll always have coffee. When we're just in a normal pub and I'm there, do you serve coffee? I love coffee. You'd be surprised how many pubs do serve coffee, though. Wetherspoon's great for it. Wetherspoons always do coffee. That's how Anna's not Wiimote, the Switch remote, the little controllers on the Switch, what are they called? Can't remember what they're called. One of them ended up in a cappuccino in a pub because we were messing around playing Mario Kart. No, Mario Party. There was a whole group of us, like 4 or 5 of us playing Mario Party. And they all had their beverages and I had a coffee and I ended up getting dropped in my coffee. It wasn't right. Why couldn't it be dropped in their stupid beer? To be fair, my other half has tea when she's in a pub, so I absolutely get it. There you go. I'm 17, so can't legally drink, but don't think I'll drink when I can. Not my thing. Yeah, I mean, I've only ever been really drunk, like drunk, like 2 or 3 times in my life. And I didn't like it any of the times. You get your own coffee and spoons now. They give you a mug and you get free refills. I think the free refills are only at breakfast. I am familiar with the Wetherspoons coffee situation. The free refills, I think, are only at breakfast time. If you order a coffee in the evening, I think you just get it like a cup of coffee. There's some big money offers coming in for some of our players here. It's a good job we've got money in the bank, or else we would have a problem. The lack of free refills on soft beverages in the UK was my biggest culture shock. We get them, I think a lot of restaurants do them. I know Harvester's always a good... Is it Harvester, the one where you have the big salad bar and the unlimited refills on your drinks? That's an amazing place to go and eat. Pizza Hut, Five Guys, Nando's, loads of places do free refills. All the kind of places I frequent do free refills anyway. I get married or you'll drink alcohol every day. I was married for like 8 years and didn't drink alcohol very often. We used to serve individual French presses at the pub whiskey bar out inside to work at. And that was 12 years ago. Nice. Do Frankie Benny's do free refills? It doesn't do free refills, I don't go. Exactly. You just have to ask the pros. We'll tell you where to find the free refills. Oh no, Dante Casanova's going. Ross is doing it again. He's the one who stole Delcroix, isn't he? Yeah. We're doing the Ross County deal. Hopefully he goes in on a non-contract like Delcroix did and we can get him back next year. The only option I've got is to resign. I don't have the option to... Oh, this is rubbish. Dante. Don't go, Dante. So sad. Do we even have another right back? Who are we going to play right back if when Casanova goes? Mitchell can apparently play there, but he plays in midfield. We're going to need an emergency right back. Just a short-term solution because Casanova will be back in a year. George Powell. You're the one who's going to come in. Because you're at Liverpool, so you must be good. I'm not going to resign over it. Because we're not going to get the job. We could go manage TNS. Or the Benfica B team. I'm not going back to Wales. I couldn't go back to Wales at TNS. I love how the music went somber as Casanova's now left. It's club record sale. Did he sign a real contract with them? Oh, they've actually given him a 3-year deal as well. We can't just do our thing that we did. Can we loan him back? No. Dante Casanova. Well. Can't loan him back. Because we've already got 4 domestic loans. There's tears in my eyes. Hydrate. I will hydrate. Sorry about the back. I avoid painkillers too, as I have to make you forget how bad the problem is and you just make the injury worse. Yeah, there's definitely that as well. He's played exactly 100 games for me, has he? That's so cool. Although that season for Llanelli, I wasn't there. That's the season I was managing CLYDE in League One. We'll meet again. Oh, Dante. We'll never forget him, and we will link up with him again somewhere at some point. Right, if George Powell's not any good, we need to look at trialists who can play right back. They're both old. So Powell's any good. We have got a nice big pile of cash now. Have I ever managed a B team? No. Similar to what I was saying to the person who was asking about international management before, though. What's the point? Because as soon as you get a player who's any good, they just get robbed by the first team. For an Englishman, I'm impressed with the pronunciation of Llanelli, Kev, from a Welshman. I mean, it's very hit and miss. Sometimes it's all right, sometimes it's not. And I had to practice a lot. I managed them for 5 seasons. Should have heard how bad it was at the start. Did you see Marcus Madison miss a Bolton game because he slept in? Someone told me about that the other day. Ridiculous. What is happening? We're just kind of stuck. Is the game crashing because Casanova's gone? What are you eating, Dave? What have you got? Hey, what have you got? What have you got? It's not yours, is it? Hey. He's eating a little toy car that he's now destroyed. Don't you growl at me, you monster. There we go. Right. Finally, it moves along. Ah, there you go. Who needs Dante Casanova? The new boy's awesome. George Powell. Easy peasy. God, Dave, show him who's boss. Yeah, exactly. Marcus Madden seems like a really top bloke. I don't think it's that he's... I don't know. I just don't think he likes playing football very much. His heart's not in it. I think he... Because, I mean, that's how he ended up getting released by Newcastle all those years ago. Because his heart was never really in it. He worked his way back up from Gateshead, was an absolute superstar for us for a few years. And I think kind of got in his head that he was going to be a Premier League superstar, and then those moves never really worked out. And I think as soon as he ended up failing a second time, I think he's pretty much done. He's just collecting as much money as he can now before he packs it in and opens his tattoo shop. Looking at his Instagram, he's a very talented tattoo artist. Binned off by Newcastle, binned off by Posh in the end, binned off by Hull, binned off by Charlton, now messing about at Bolton. Yeah, exactly. He's got the talent to be playing in the Premier League. But he's just not, doesn't care. Just not interested. He's every bit as talented as George Boyd was when he was with Posh, or Lee Tomlin. Similar kind of player to those two. And they both played Premier League football. And I mean, you can see the three different career trajectories of those three players. You've got the one who always worked hard and had the right attitude, who probably played 200 Premier League games. The one who sometimes tried but was often just a bit fat, who ended up a good championship player. And then the one who just didn't care at all, who's going to end up retired by the time he's 26 because no one will want him. But he's like I say, they're all three of them pretty much equal talent levels, I would suggest. But not many players have George Boyd's work rate and mentality. But I think Marcus Maddison probably hits the best free kick I've ever seen. He's scored some stupendous free kicks. And he was like top assist maker in League One every year. On his day, he's far too good for League One even. But his day doesn't happen very often. Are we going to be allowed to play all of these lone players at the same time? Work rate and attitude wise, George Boyd's a good role model for young players. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that of the ones we've mentioned, George Boyd spent the longest amount of time in non-league. All three of them ended up being released and ending up in non-league and having to work their way back up again. But George Boyd was at Stevenage for like 3 years, working his backside off to get his move to us. Whereas Tomlin, I think, was at Rushton for maybe a year or two. And Matt Maddison, I don't think, was at Gateshead very long at all. I think he liked being a big fish in the pond. Seems to lose interest when he was in the Championship with players who were as good as or better and lost interest. I mean, he should be the big fish in the pond at Bolton, though, shouldn't he? And he should have been the big fish in the pond at Charlton. And he wasn't always the best player at Posh. Like, he was in the same Posh team as Ivan Toney, and he was no Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney oozes Premier League quality. And has the work rate and the right attitude. But it's always hit and miss for those kind of players. I mean, Johnson Clark-Harris, who we talk about all the time, we love Big Johnson. We released him when he was 18, 19, because his attitude stunk. Terrible attitude. But like 6-7 years later, he's worked hard in the lower leagues, consistently scored goals, and we spent over £1 million to bring him back. A player we released, a player we effectively sacked because his attitude was so off. We spent £1 million on to bring back, and now he's our top scorer. So it is possible to turn this ship around, even if you are Marcus Maddison. What Maddison needs is Fergie again. He needs someone who won't take any of his niblets. I'm a Charlton fan. It was unbearable to watch how he just walked around and never put any effort in. Yeah, he needs Fergie to put a rocket up his backside. Tony's an interesting one. He seemed to be a great talent at the Cobblers, but needed to mature. And wow, did he mature. Yeah, I mean, he put his time in the lower leagues. Newcastle didn't ever take him seriously. He was at Newcastle for, 5 years? And they just kept loaning him out. I remember reading a thing in, I think it was in The Athletic, where Rafa Benitez, when our offer to sign Tony permanently went into Newcastle, Rafa Benitez didn't know who he was. he'd just been loaning. Whoever takes care of the loans had just been loaning him out to the lower leagues. And Benitez just didn't know who he was. And was like, I don't care. Let him go. Don't know who he is. So that's why we got him relatively cheap. What is it with Peterborough and getting players good enough for the Prem? As much as it pains me to say it, because he's one of the worst managers we ever had, but Barry Fry is probably one of the best directors of football ever. He can find a player and he can negotiate a deal. We have a very good setup with Barry Fry finding the players and Fergie getting the best out of them. It's been working for us for 10 years or more now. He only needs the greatest manager of all time to sort him out. I mean, his dad might have been able to do it as well, but Darren Ferguson, the greatest manager of all time, as you describe, yeah, he needs him to sort him out. Rebby Roo, thank you very much for the 6 month sub. Your nut has just gone. What is it? What colour does your nut go at 6 months? I think your nut's gone bronze. Annie, I haven't had a postcard yet. No. When did you send it? I've had blank postcards come through, but nothing with anything on it. The postcards that I've been getting, I've had like 3 or 4 of these now. I'll just cover up the address. But they just come through like that, with my address, a picture on one side, my address, the PO box address, but then no message or no mention of who they're from. So I don't know if there's a fault with how they're working. Did you write it yourself, or is it off one of these sites where you can get special ones made up? I don't think anyone has ever described Darren Ferguson as the greatest manager ever before. You haven't spoken to many posh fans, have you? I mean, he's the best manager we've ever had by a million miles. Barry Fry's good at finding the players. McCanty has the money to prize them from the lower leagues, with the promise that Posh will sell anyone for the right. Oh yeah, it's definitely. I should have mentioned McAnthony. It is the 3 of them. Fergie's a brilliant man manager. McAnthony's willing to back Fry and Fergie. Fry can find the players, and like you say, when the they get the Darren McAnthony tour when they come round, he sells them. He doesn't just sell them Posh. He sells them the Premier League. These days, because we've got such a reputation for doing it, he'll sell them the whole, you'll be here for 2 years, Fergie will polish you up brilliantly, and then in 2 years' time, you'll be going to the Premier League. Because this massive list of players that we've done it with have all done it. You come here, get your head down, and you do it right, and you'll end up in the Premier League. And McAnthony, I mean, we're very open with our players. We won't ever hold any of them back. We sign them on the basis that we're going to sell them on. Aren't we planning on building a new stadium? We are. As a neutral, I actually quite like Peterborough. You should, because we do it the right way. We actually operate at a profit. We're a football club that operate at a profit, which I think is pretty rare. Could Darren Ferguson become a Premier League manager one day? I think he probably had his chance. He's had chances with bigger teams. And he always ends up back with us. I think he needs to, it's that 3. Those 3 could go together and manage a bigger club. Although Fry's too old to do it now. I mean, I don't know how many, he's probably nearly 80. How old's Barry Fry? Probably not quite that old, but still, I don't think anyone's bringing Barry Fry in as a Premier League director of football now. But yeah, I think he needs a good director of football and good financial backing to be able to do it. And the job would be much harder in the Premier League as well, because Fergie's speciality is getting a misfit player who's he's 75. See, not far off 80 then. But Fergie's speciality is getting a misfit player who's been rejected or failed somewhere else and polishing him up and turning him into a superstar. Jack Marriott's one of my favourite examples to talk about. Jack Marriott was a bench warmer for Luton when we signed him. Bearing in mind, this is when we were in League One and Luton were in League Two. And between McAnthony, Fry and Fergie, we saw enough in this Luton substitute to do him the usual, here's your £100,000 check and a 20% sell on. He came in, was with us 1 year, top scorer in League One, sold him to Derby for £6 million. So the fact, it's just mad being able to do that. And we do it, so it's not like it's a one-off. They do it every year. They do it so consistently. Buy low, sell high. Best way to do business. Exactly. 77 clubs across Europe's big 5 leagues operate at a profit. But it's definitely rare in the lower leagues. Yeah. I think that's fair. Did the same with Dwight Gale. Although Dwight Gale, I guess Dwight Gale hadn't failed elsewhere. Although, in fact, to be fair, Dagenham sent him out on loan the year before he came to us. He went on loan to somewhere below Dagenham's level because Dagenham didn't see anything with him, sent him out on loan. He scored something like 42 goals out on loan, and we brought him in the next year. And again, he was with us for a year and a half before he went to Palace for big money. Britta Sombolonga was a Watford reject that we signed for £1 million off of Watford. He was with us 1 year, League One top scorer. Went to Forest for 7 million, I think. So, yeah, time and time and time again. There you go, we've got a Dagenham fan in. Dwight Gale hardly played a game for us. We sent him on loan to Bishop Stortford. Yeah, it's mad when you think about it. Whoever Posh want to sign a bottom half championship club should just get. The problem is it doesn't quite work like that because they have to have the posh polish first. You can't just take the ones we want and expect to do what we've done with them. I mean, there's been the odd one. Jamie Vardy is an example of one that we were definitely after, but he didn't get the posh polish and turned out okay. But we were linked with Jamie Vardy for like a year before he went to Leicester. But I think for having to pay £1 million for him at the time was a little bit out of our £1 million. We'd broken the non-league transfer record when we signed George Boyd for £250,000, and then it was only a couple of years after we'd done that, and Fleetwood wanted £1 million for Jamie Vardy, and it's like, looking back, probably should have spent the £1 million on Jamie Vardy, but didn't really have it at the time. Wasn't the documentary the reason McAntony saw Posh and got involved? Yeah. Barry Fry just going off the handle left, right and centre. Danny Crow having a hissy fit, I know. To be fair, £1 million for Vardy is better than £1 million for Tyrone Barnett. The thing is though, Tyrone Barnett was like 5 years later. And at that point, McAntony had been there long enough and had decided that, I mean, he basically said pre-season 1 year, when he was talking about his goals for the season, one of his goals was to spend £1 million on a striker. That was one of his goals for the season. And we went out. Tyrone Barnett was the big flop. Tyrone Barnett was not a posh style of player, but he just happened to score a lot of goals that year, and we got that one wrong. But I think we got Tyrone Barnett with I want to say it was with the Dwight Gale money. We went out and spunked $1 million of it on Tyrone Barnett. There's also what's known as the Ipswich polish, where we turn a good player and make him worse before we release him. Then they go to another club and smash it. Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, Ipswich ruined Paul Taylor. Paul Taylor was another great example off the posh production line. I forget where he was as a youth. It might have been Liverpool. Got released, ended up playing in Belgium on drugs, went to prison. His career was completely off the rails. We brought him in. He played for us for a year. We sold him to Ipswich, I think for £1 million. And then Ipswich just broke him. Absolutely broke him. Clark Harris is Posh's next big thing. The thing with Clark Harris is he's a little bit older. Clark Harris, I think, is 26. So it's a little bit harder. When we've already spent £1 million on him, it's a little bit harder to spin that up into a £5 million bid for a 26-year-old who's never played above the League One level. Clark Harris might be a long-term thing for us, I think. Be a decent payday for Posh when Tony moves on. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're getting a payday for Tony this summer one way or the other. Either when Brentford get promoted or when they don't get promoted and they sell him. Either way, there's talk of it being like 4 or 5 million either way. We had a joint deal agreed for him and Boyd, and when Boyd failed his medical. Who are we talking about? Taylor? Imagine how good Peter would be if they kept all their best players. Probably not as good as we are now, because we wouldn't have been able to buy most of them. We couldn't have spent £1 million on Clark Harris if we hadn't have sold Tony. We couldn't have spent... I think we probably spent 750,000 on Tony. We couldn't have spent that on Tony if we hadn't have sold Marriott. We couldn't have bought Marriott if we hadn't have sold a Sombalonga. We couldn't have bought a Sombalonga if we hadn't have sold Gale. We wouldn't be in a position to... I think we spent $750,000 on Jack Taylor. We wouldn't be able to... We wouldn't have been in the market for someone like Jack... Sammy Schmodix cost us over $1 million this summer. We bought 2 players for over £1 million this summer, which we wouldn't have been able to do if we hadn't have sold not Tyrone Barnett, Ivan Toney. It's very much it's a production line. You buy them young and hungry and cheap-ish, polish them up, sell them on, get the next one coming through. I think Posh are going to get promoted. Yes, just to spite me. I think we'll win the league because we've never done it in my lifetime. And I don't think we ever will again. This will be the one time we win a championship. And we'll do it when I can't be there to watch it. Just to spite me. See, Nathaniel Mendez-Lang wasn't very good for us. He was one that didn't really work out. He always had promise. But he was never actually any good for us. I'm surprised how well he did after he left. He's another one similar to young Clark Harris. I think they came in around the same time. And he just didn't have the right attitude, Mendez-Lang, and ended up not working out for him at Posh. But then he went on to be a top championship player. If Posh do get promoted, how bad do you think it'll be in the championship? I think we do what we normally do. I think we'll survive the first season and get relegated the second season. That's how we always do it. We'll never be good enough to stay in the championship long term. Hydrating. Because we don't have enough fans to be able to move away from the selling players model even when we're in the championship. So we'll still have to sell our best players when we're up there. Posture check. Am I a season ticket holder? Not at the moment, because it can't go. I haven't been a regular season ticket holder for a couple of years. I've had a couple of half-season tickets here and there. But when the world is normal, pretty much every weekend between September and December, I'm away at events, so I can't really go to matches the first half of the season. So usually I get a half-season ticket in January, and then because the Expo season doesn't really start again until April, May time, so I can watch most of the second half of the season. But I rarely watch the first half of the season. Was it FM08, Posh for the Club to Raid, Joe Lewis, George Boys, etc.? I mean, pretty much any FM. You won't do too badly. If you go and get Ricky J. Jones this year, you'll end up all right. Get Ricky J. Jones, Sammy Schmodix, Jack Taylor. We have quality every year. think Posh could maybe establish themselves a bit better in the championship? Now clubs seem to pay a bit more for English players. I guess it depends. It depends on whether we can replicate the business model a league up. Do it the way Brentford have done it, because that's the thing. To be able to do what we do at that level, like Brentford gave us millions upon millions for Tony. So, but they sold Ollie Watkins for what, 35 million? And spent 7 or 8 on Tony. So you have to be able to scale the system up to that kind of level to do it in the championship. So we'd need an absolutely stupendously good player that we could sell for Ollie Watkins money. You just need one of them, and then you've got the system rolling then. Right, we've sold one for 35 million. Now we can buy 2 or 3 players in the 5 to 10 million pound range, and you've scaled up the system then. It was 28 for Watkins, was it? Still, that's an insane amount of money for a championship player. But you have to get that stupendously talented player first. Oh yeah, Brentford are definitely doing what we're doing the league above. Lou Reed, thank you very much for the prime. I mean, if we can get up with the right player and get that one big deal in first, then we'll be fine. But we're not dumb enough to go up and start spending £5 million on players until we've sold someone for 25. And I don't think we've got a player at the moment who'd be a £25 million player. If we'd have gone up last year and gone up with Tony and he'd have stayed and then done for us what he's done for Brentford this year, because I imagine Ivan Toney's a £25 million player now. But we didn't get promoted with him because points per game robbed us. So you just need another one like that. I'm just not sure we've got one at the moment. Jack Taylor, maybe, if he continues progressing. He's probably the only one. Unless Jones fulfills his potential, his stupendous potential. Seems like Posh have sold a player for profit in every position except for goalkeeper. And that's only because the fans turned on Joe Lewis. I thought Joe Lewis was a really good goalkeeper. The fans just turned on him. I don't think it's because he took over from Mark Tyler, who'd been our goalkeeper for 10 years, played about 500 games for us, and then we spent £500,000 on Joe Lewis as a fancy old England under-21 goalkeeper, and the fans just turned on him. Surely Brentford wouldn't be dumb enough to sell someone like Tony. I mean, if they don't get promoted, they won't have a choice. It's how their business model works. They were dumb enough to sell Ollie Watkins and then replace him with Tony. Brentford will have their Tony replacement already lined up. They'll know who he is. That's how this... I don't want to call it Moneyball because it's not really Moneyball, but it is a bit. But Brentford will have their 2 versions of the summer. One is they're in the Premier League, one is they're in the Championship, and their Championship one will involve selling Ivan Toney, and they'll already know who they're buying. But if they go up, they'll keep him. Brentford are going up. I hope Brentford are going up. See, it's not really Moneyball because it's not based on statistics. Because I don't think Barry Fry can spell statistic. It's just eye for talent, gut feeling. I mean, it still has the same outcome as Moneyball. You buy players cheap and sell them expensive, but it's not really a system to it. I think if Barry Fry ever retires or when he eventually croaks, I don't think we necessarily carry on doing what we've been doing. So I don't think it's something you can just pick up with the next guy. I just can't imagine we've got that advanced a system doing it. is based on statistics at Brentford. They're owned by a football stats company. Oh, there you go. So Brentford are doing Moneyball then. Posh aren't doing Moneyball. But it looks the same. It has the same outcome. Are they really planning that far ahead? Sunderland seem clueless. Sunderland are clueless. That's why they keep getting relegated and then not promoted. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Brentford don't just know who Tony's replacement is. They probably know who Tony's replacement's replacement is as well. They're probably that far ahead in the planning. Poor old back. What am I going to do with it? If anyone wants to donate a spine, I'll take one. Sunderland had Zlatan on their scouting report. Sunderland are ridiculous, that's why. Utterly ridiculous. That's a good goal. How many channel points for a spine? Not sure. I've had no luck getting a chair sponsor. I'm in negotiations with one company, but they've got a specific chair that I want. So I'm waiting to see if they can give me the specific chair that I want. That's just so happens to be the most expensive chair they do. I don't really, because I don't do any of the negotiations, I don't really know what stage we're at. So I probably shouldn't be talking about it. Because my management might be playing hardball. He doesn't even want this chair. You need to sweeten the deal. And I'm here going, God, I need a new chair desperately. This chair is ruining me. Did you know there's a limit of 6 under-21 signings from Europe a season? Making my home series hard. I didn't know that. That's interesting. But to be honest, do you need more than 6? I need hay fever. Is anyone else getting hay fever yet? I know it's only March, but I'm pretty confident hay fever has started. I'm not happy about it. My nose has been blocked the last couple of days. Depends how addicted you are to Wonder Kids. Well, you should be addicted to getting a full homegrown 11 through your youth setup if you're at home. Okay, talking to Peter, what's it like being the better half of your rivalry? I don't know any other way, really. I sometimes feel a little bit embarrassed describing either of our supposed rivals as rivals. It's like Usain Bolt calling me a rival. Theoretically, I could run 100 meters, but I'm never going to be in the same league as him doing it, am I? That's what it's like with Posh and Cambridge and Northampton. Do I think Sunderland will go up? What, from League 2 next year? Probably not. Sunderland aren't going up this year. There's no room for them. We get excited about playing Posh until it dawns on us we're going to get smashed, and then it just gets painful. Yeah. Don't worry, Cambridge are the same way. Cambridge think they're all that at the moment. Hydrate. Okay. Ches versus Kev rivalry. He wishes. He wishes. So, talking of that, Colchester have Norwich listed as a fierce rival, but neither team have mentioned them. That's kind of like Cambridge being our rival. Similar sort of difference in calibre of club. I think Charlton can still backdoor Kev into the playoffs after our poor run of form. I don't really know. I don't look that far down the league table. I only look at the top two. And then when we're not there, I assume we're just outside of it and we'll be back into the top two any moment. That's how I feel as a Chelsea fan, as our rivals are Brentford, Fulham and QPR. I have no idea what having a competitive local rival is like. I mean, surely as a Chelsea, surely Chelsea being a London club could just decide that Arsenal and Spurs and West Ham are their rivals. They're still in the same city. Or will those lot not have you? How many home shirts were sold? Over 200. I think we sold more home shirts in reality than the club in game have ever sold in game, which is nice. How's Clyde doing this season? We're doing very good. Largely thanks to the one-arm swan. We're not missing Dante Casanova, which is nice. Cambridge have one stand to go with their 3 sheds now, so must be going up in the world. Still on an allotment, though. I think the fans once voted on Tottenham being our fiercest rivals. Tottenham were like, yeah, we're already married. Being an Ipswich fan, I can safely tell you that the lower team of a rivalry, being the lower team in a rivalry does in fact suck. Aww. Similar for Bolton fans, but on the other end of that, don't think Salford count as rivals. What was the most popular home shirt? The home shirt sold more than double the other two put together. As a West Ham fan, I see Chelsea, Tottenham and Arsenal as rivals, as well as Palace and Millwall, but they're not that exciting. I mean, surely no one in London genuinely sees Millwall as a rival. Maybe Orient, or, I don't know, Wimbledon. But Millwall are rubbish. I think everyone just enjoys beating Millwall because they're so loud. We don't see Millwall as a rival, Wimbledon. So who's Wimbledon's rivals then? Just McDonald's? Charlton do. We get smashed by Millwall even though we have a better team. Yikes. I thought Luton was the main Millwall rivalry because of the whole riots. Luton's Watford, isn't it? What, McDonald's aren't a rival of Wimbledon? Madness. That should be your only rival. If someone tried to erase my existence, I'd probably have a slight dislike for them. I've got 2 because the missus always steals mine, so this way I can actually wear the home shirt too. That's awesome. Franchise FC don't exist to Wimbledon. Quite right too. They do constantly try and have us as their rivals. McDonald's fans seem to think, because we're reasonably close to Milton Keynes, but we're not having any of it. To test them, but not a rival. Dun, 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 dun. MK Dons are like the new kid in class that no one likes. Only if they murdered the kid who left the class last year and then said, yeah, but it's fine. This is what they do in America. But you have to take the analogy that far. And that's who MK Dons are. MK fans seem to be trying to claim Northampton, Luton, Oxford and Posh just to feel relevant. Bless them. To me, Luton would be the obvious one. Luton's just down the road, isn't it? I guess Northampton is as well. Wimbledon hate MK Dons. They refuse to put their name on the scoreboard and programmes. I think the EFL fined them for it. I mean, if that's the case, I think all the other EFL clubs should go in on the fine with them. I'd help pay towards the fine. Didn't MK Dons try and buy fans? They give away a lot of free tickets. I don't know if they still do, but certainly I used to know a few people who were in who worked in Milton Keynes because I did my teacher training at the University of Bedfordshire. So a few of the people I was at uni with, I was training to teach in Peterborough, but Milton Keynes people were training on the same course. So I knew a few people in Milton Keynes at the time. And they were saying how some weeks, like 70, 80% of the fans in there were on free tickets out of the paper or given away to the local schools. When Ipswich went to MK last season, the attendance was 7,000. We took 4,000 fans. Wow. As someone who was in sixth form when MK moved to Milton Keynes in the early 2000s, they used to give loads of free tickets to our PE department. Yeah, that sounds about right. Was that in Milton Keynes? Because obviously, Cobbler, Sean, are you in Northampton or were you in Milton Keynes? I'm interested to know how far their recruitment of fans spreads. Just anyone who owns a football in a 50-mile radius gets a free ticket. Gretna gave out free tickets constantly before they went bust. I mean, I know Bradford did the £100 season ticket the other year, didn't they? And we're getting like 15,000 attendances in League One. So it's not always a bad thing. I guess you just have to decide. You have to weigh up what's more important, filling the place and making money on pies and shirt sales and tea, or rinsing fans for tickets as much as possible, but knowing there's going to be far fewer in there. My dad's from Northampton, but I grew up in Newport Pagnell. They've done a lot of work to try and get fans as far north as Rushden. Wow. Did you see Coventry going back to the Rico next season? I know someone mentioned it last week. I don't think it was officially confirmed last time I was paying attention, but good. They should never have been turfed out of it. It's ridiculous that they've had to have to be homeless for so long. It should never have been allowed to happen. Bradford averaged 16,000 in League Two before COVID. Wow. Bury did the cheapest season ticket in the EFL at the time. They were spending loads. Didn't end well. Yeah. More fans in the stadium, the more money they'll make on overpriced food, drinks and food. Yeah. You just have to get that balancing act right, don't you? I guess if you've got a massive ground. So what you don't want to do is price the tickets so cheap that you sell out on cheap tickets. Because then, you know, you could have made the ticket prices higher. But I guess as long as you're not selling out, you can keep lowering the ticket prices and banking on selling pies and like a bag of crisps at the football is like £2.50. They're making plenty of money on crisps and pies and Mars bars. £3 Mars bars. Oh, the poorly old back. A takeover, eh? A takeover might be fun. Posh are the kings at overpriced food and drink. And overpriced tickets as well. So expensive to watch Posh. Posture check. We're certainly the opposite end. I've spent a lot of time tonight talking about how good our transfer policy and how well the business side of football is run, but the actual business side of the business, pathetic. They need someone in who understands basic marketing. Stop charging £30 a ticket and having 5,000 people turn up. Make a season ticket £300, sell 10,000 of them. Yeah, employ a groundsman. That would go a long way towards helping out. It was £30 to go to see Ipswich last year. Charlton season tickets were cheap in the Championship last season, about 200. See, that's awesome. My team Chesterfield are in non-league and tickets are £33, way too expensive. Yeah, that's mad. Absolutely mad. That's more than like going to see Leicester, which is nuts. Posh fan joking that Cambridge play in an allotment when the pitch looks like a farmer's field this year. To be fair though, you do have to walk through an allotment to get to the Cambridge ground. It's not a joke, it's a factual description of how you get there. The away end's even called the allotment end at Cambridge. Well, it was, last time I stood on it. I honestly think football at all levels is way too overpriced. It's like £15 to watch my local team lose every week. They're in tier 7. I mean, Deeping Rangers, who I could see them from my bathroom window at my old house. I think it was £6 to go there. And they're in like tier 8, tier 9. Huddersfield season tickets have been £250 the last 4 years, including when we were in the Prem. See, that's the right way to do it. You just have to walk down the path through the allotments to get in the ground. Yeah, I remember doing that in the pouring rain. And then it's one of the worst roads to try and get home on afterwards. Getting out of Cambridge. Traffic's horrific. I think this is top of the table clash, isn't it? Aren't St Mirren the ones who were up there with us? Or have I not been paying enough attention to the league table? I'm sure it was us and St Mirren are 2 points ahead of us. So this is a big game. ICT in there ruining our day again. Ayr, who were top for a lot of last season, not even in the top 4 at the moment. Good advert not to go and watch Cambridge play in the future then. To be fair, Cambridge do a cracking job of discouraging fans from attending by playing their matches. Come on, the one-armed swan. Oh, he has got a beautiful finish on him. He really has. Yeah, Cambridge are top of League 2. We don't like to talk about it. As long as we get promoted as well, they can do what they want. Peterborough got voted in the top 5 worst cities in the UK. Thoughts? What, has it happened again? I know last year we were officially the worst place to live in the UK for the 2nd year in a row. Has it happened again? Wouldn't surprise me. It's a dump. That's why I was so keen to leave. That's why I said to Anna, literally anywhere in the country, just get me out of Peterborough. And she only managed to get us an hour away. Can you move your mouse, please? There you go. Peterborough won't get promoted as you won the Streamer Showdown and made a deal with the universe. I know. It's a price you have to pay sometimes. I went to Leighton Orient versus Cambridge before COVID and don't think I heard the Cambridge fans make a single noise in the entire 90 minutes. The one good thing about Cambridge is they do nice bacon rolls in the ground. I don't think I've ever been anywhere else that does bacon rolls. I don't know if they still do them, but that was always the one good thing about a Cambridge away day, having a bacon roll. Peterborough's an absolutely horrific place, and I grew up on the outskirts of Milton Keynes. Oh yeah, without doubt, Milton Keynes is a better city than... Is it even a city? It must be a city. It's a better city than Peterborough. They've got more stuff to do. The big problem with Peterborough, without if we've got any of my my former neighbours in, apologies for completely trashing where you live, but it is awful. I know everyone says this about where they grew up, but in Peterborough there really is nothing to do. Milton Keynes is a big town. Okay. Yeah, there is nothing to do in Peterborough. You know how in most cities they have that area of the city where you've got all the chain restaurants and the Weatherspoons and the cinema and the bowling alley? You ain't got that in Peterborough. None of that. You know how places have things where you can go and have a day out? Like Leicester's got the Space Centre. Milton Keynes has got the indoor ski slope and the place where you can do the skydiving indoors, and it's got an IKEA. None of that in Peterborough. So at least a Greggs. There's loads of Greggs. That's a sign of an absolute dive as well. There's loads of Greggs. What did I do then on a Friday night? Record my podcast. It's been voted worst city for the third year. Here's the top 10. Peterborough, Huddersfield, Liverpool, Bradford, Hull, Wakefield, Luton, Jaywick. Never heard of Jaywick Sands. Torquay, Halifax. I'm surprised to see Liverpool on the list. Actually, Hull's not a terrible place. I mean, I've been to Liverpool and Hull and Luton, and yeah, they're all better than Peterborough. I grew up in a town where we had 2 charity shops and a bank. Yeah, but presumably you had somewhere else nearby. Peterborough doesn't have that. You've got Leicester that's an hour away, Cambridge that's like 45 minutes away. The only positive about London, about Peterborough, sorry, is London's relatively close. It's 45 minutes away on the train. The best thing about Peterborough is the A1M, because it gets you out of there quickly. Started podcasting at a young age. Well, when I was younger, I didn't do anything on a Friday night because I was playing Football Manager. I mean, I don't know if you were around earlier in the stream. I don't drink. I've never been one to go out. Everyone, when I hear people talking about getting so excited that the pubs and everything are going to reopen and they get to go out, I've never been one for going out. Do I ever set stream timetable? Monday to Thursday, usually around a start time between 7 and 8 p.m. for 2 or 3 hours. You had friends? Not really. Never really had friends. It's another thing on my autism checklist when I eventually get my diagnosis. Never really had friends. Growing up in South East Kent is like literally living in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's not though, because you're not that far from London. And plus, you've got the Dungeness nuclear power station down there. I went on holiday there once. We're your friends, Kev. Aww. How did I meet my wife then? What do you mean, my ex-wife? I worked with her, and the lady who I now live with, who is not my wife, I picked her out of a catalogue. Never in my 38 years of existence have I gone out and met a girl. Everyone I've ever had any kind of relationship with has either been someone I've worked with or has been the one person I picked off the internet. Everyone else has been someone I worked with or went to school with. Bad when your nearest professional team is Gillingham. I presume the nuclear power station is where you found your Stream of Showdown powers. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, Tinder or a mail order deal? Neither. Tinder didn't exist when I selected Anna out of the catalogue. I don't think. Never used Tinder. Don't know how it works. I know it's something to do with swiping. Yeah, Anna was a mail order bride. Then I didn't marry her. Same, it's either from school work, set up by a friend, or work together in an amateur drama group. Probably counts as working together. Absolutely counts as working together. Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, even if a gun to my head, I don't think I could go into a bar and pick up a girl. Just, I wouldn't know what to say. Never tried it. Tinder was 2012. Yeah, see, me and Anna met in 2012. So it was probably some weird new thing that I didn't look at. Swipe right if you like. Left. I really don't need to know. I'm never going to need to use it. If Anna dies or gets fed up of me, I'll just be an old bachelor. I've had children now. I have no further requirement for an additional female. Anna will be the last female. And she will be here until she either dies or gets fed up with me and leaves. Oh, my poor old back. Just flash your Stream of Showdown credentials and they'll swoon all over you. So walk into a bar like this. Hey, do you want to know how I got this crown? I was playing a spreadsheet simulator on the internet all weekend. I do it once a month. What a catch. I feel like if Anna got fed up with me, she'd just murderize me on stream. Exactly. She can't murder me. I'm her cash cow. Kev, stop. I can only get so flustered. I have some FM chat up lines, but I won't share as they're very inappropriate. I mean, just imagine if I was single. How the hell would I explain my life to someone? Just, this is going to seem weird, but I'm just going to give you a link to a YouTube channel. And I think it's just easier for you to watch that for a few hours and then get back to me with your decision. So I don't know how to explain it. Bum 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 bum. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Oh, we're playing ICT again. Just drop in on an old person's home and get him to explain his job until everyone understands it. Oh, drop me in an old person's home. Okay. You're out of context. Twitch clips might be a deal breaker. Nah. At least Anna doesn't have to worry about you having an affair. Exactly. I've said that to her many times. That's got to be one of the great positives of me as a partner. She occasionally shares TikToks with me of, it's a bit of a meme on TikTok. We're all too old to use it, but I think it's a bit of a meme on there to do like reasons I know my boyfriend will never cheat on me. And she just sends me these examples of things that are basically me. And it's just men being absolute nerdy losers or being totally inept socially. And yeah, she has nothing to worry about there. Oh, Andy Reid's torn his hamstring. Should have lost a bit of weight, then he'd have been all right. Tell my wife at 23 is the same thing. She always knows where I am. Oh yeah, Anna always knows where I am, and it's usually in here. Are you worried if she'll find out about the impending OnlyFans you're going to set up? She'll probably be the moderator on it. Bum, 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 bum. This is interesting. Ugh. Well, I've got to go to the interview, haven't I? Got to at least interview. And then if they offer me the job, we'll make a decision from there. I can't not interview for Brentford. God, they're having a horrible season. Is Ivan Toney still there? Yeah, he is. He's on the transfer list. What? He's on £48,000 a week. No wonder he's looking that smug. He's played 2 games this year. He's earning £250,000 a month. What a life. Right, let's see what they've got to say then. Hey-oh! Yeah, I have experience. Be quite a change for you to leave your current job and come here. Am I confident of handling such a big jump? Yeah, I'll be able to understand what everyone's saying for a start. That'd be amazing. With your current team defying expectations in the league and in the middle of a good run of form, are you perhaps looking to take advantage of moving whilst your stock is at its highest? Matthew, you rang me. I didn't apply for this. Why have you felt it acceptable to apply for a number of jobs? Because I wanted a new job, Matthew. Yeah. Would you agree that your handling of the media has been mediocre at best? I don't use the media. Never had any complaints. The club have been looking for a candidate capable of performing to competition expectations. Yeah, I do that. I do that all the time. Yeah, I'll work with Philly Giles. Philly G, I'll call him probably. As part of the recruitment process, I don't need to bring anyone with me. Nah, no staff needed. So they want attacking football, young players. They want Kev's transfer policy, basically. If hired, we would expect you to position the team to compete for a playoff place. Is that fair? It'll have to be, wouldn't it? Oh! Oh! Look at all that money. Yeah, that'll do, Matthew. Ah! Yeah, Matthew, that'll be fine. Well, I mean, can I bring the one-armed swan with me? That's the question. First move, sign Dante Casanova. Would it be my first professional job? It would be. I mean, imagine being a Brentford fan in real life. I think you'd be disgusted that they've even approached me. Because my job history, I mean, yeah, we've never finished outside of the top 3 in any division. But still, maybe they use Moneyball for managers too. Maybe they do. I guess I am a cheap option. I'm a cheap up-and-comer who's definitely got something about him. Bearing in mind how hard it was to get clubs to offer me jobs in non-League to Legend proper this year, I've got to admit, I'm a little bit frustrated that interview has come in, because I wasn't getting offers like that. Should probably go. I mean, mods. I can't. My back's so sore I can't reach to go XLR to put the mod voice on. So
I don't know, does this sound like a mod voice? Mods, if we've got a mod there, can we do a poll? Mods, we need to do a poll. If I get offered the Brentford job, should I go? Mods, I repeat, if I get offered the Brentford job, should I go?
There we go. It's weird you're doing non-League station not leaving England this year. I don't leave every year. The last couple of years I have, but I would say more often than not I haven't left. Have we got any mods in? My mods are pathetic. Sounds like an aeroplane guy telling people to put the seatbelt on. Nice. That's the effect I was looking for. Right, I guess I'm going to have to do this myself, like a caveman. Should I Brentford? Yes. No. Right, there you go. The poll is up. Everyone's gonna vote 3. Evening, Kev. Nice suit tonight. Thank you very much. I just felt like forcing some tactical voting by adding the third option. I didn't want it to just be a landslide. You go from having me on your team to playing against me. I might be able to bring you with me. I don't know if you're going to be good enough for the English Championship, but we would see. Who are you on loan from? Best player in FM21 so far? Rui Camera. Oh, the one-armed swan, the one-armed swan, the one-armed swan, the one-armed swan. That's the one-armed swan song. We need to bring him with us, but he's not going to be close to good enough, is he? But just imagine if he was. Right, one-armed swan. Are you going to be good enough for the championship? Do you think? It's so difficult to know. Probably not. Bearing in mind, in real life, League One players go to the Scottish Premiership. The one-armed swan song makes it sound like it's his last game. It might be the last game we ever see him play. Oh, I'll definitely scout the entire Clyde team and Casanova if I leave. For sure. Assuming you get the job. I said if I leave. I expect I won't get the Brentford job because, like I say, they'd be mad to give it to me. I've never been a full-time football manager. Imagine the real-life reaction of Brentford fans when you brought in his manager and you signed the Leslie squad. I know. That'd be brilliant. And my favourite. I didn't look. I should probably have tweeted this out. I'll tweet it now quickly. I haven't got a screenshot to go with it. New job. Just did an interview. I'm so windy this evening. Why am I so windy? If we can't beat ICT at home, we ain't getting a job anywhere, are we? Don't forget to save because of the LOLLUJO Cup. I don't think I saved the Leslie team. I think the LOLLUJO Cup will just be YouTube teams. So I don't think I've saved any of the teams I've used on Twitch this year. I don't think my Posh team, my Reading team, Leslie, Isle of Man, I don't think we've got any of them. Delcroix! Come on, boys. We need a goal here. We need to be top of the league. Next season, YouTube and Twitch in the LOLLUJO Cup. We'll see if it draws views this year first. If it gets like 3,000 views an episode, because it's going to have to be, there's going to be like 8 teams in it. It's going to be a multiple episode extravaganza. If no one watches it, I'll just bin the idea off. Ooh, ooh, the one-armed swan, the one-armed swan, the one-armed swan, the one-armed swan, the one-armed swan. I need to, if we go and we take him with us, I have to record the song for the Go XLR. Evening Kev, starting to dip my toe into streaming FM. What's the best bit of advice you can give a streaming novice? I'm going to steal a piece of advice that Dr. Ben gave when he was, when we did the content clinic, because as frustrating as it is as a one-off piece of, as a one-sentence piece of advice, he actually did a better bit than I did in my 4 hours. My 4 hours was better than his, but he did the best one-off piece of advice, which is just stream like there's 300 people watching. Don't, if you've only got a couple of people watching, don't sit there in silence waiting for them to say something. Have stuff planned that you're going to talk about. Stream as if there is a full chat there, and that, you know, you're there to entertain. People aren't there to watch the game, they're there to be entertained by you. So put on a show. That's the difference between a good streamer and a boring streamer. You think to all the Football Manager streamers you like watching, none of them are sitting there quietly discussing the game. I watched Hull Posh the other day. I don't watch any of the games where we lose. I only get one chance to make a first impression. Exactly. So for goodness sake, put on a tie, you scruff bag. Do I follow my own advice then? Yeah, of course I do. I always stream like there's 300 people watching, because he usually is. But I always come into a stream with stuff that I want to talk about. I usually get through most of it in the pre-stream stream. Who is this? Oh, I don't want to play him as a fullback. Zinedine Zidane. I'm arguing with Zinedine Zidane. He knows the difference between a fullback and a wingback.
I'm using this sub to officially apology to you about taking the Arsenal job. Kev is always right. Always.
Lupo, thank you very much. If Posh lose, did the game really happen? No. That's how it works. Right. Oh, should we see if we're favourites? So, Brentford, I am not the favourite. Some guy who has a better beard than me apparently is the favourite. See, imagine if you're the Brentford fans, Nuno's your favourite, and then they go and appoint the part-time guy from Clyde. There'd be riots. So I don't think there's much chance I'm getting the Brentford job. You're very much off the cuff. I like that, and that's why I watch you. Yeah, but that, you can't rely on that if there's only a few people watching, because I've developed into being able to do that, because the nature of my streams now is that there's always a busy chat and I can just kind of sit here and chat with you lot. But when I first started streaming, my streams were much closer to what my YouTube content is like. And I mean, I imagine you all watch my YouTube videos. You know my YouTube style. I don't edit, really. It's like a 20-minute long stream, but without a chat. I'm just talking constantly and trying to put on a show and entertain. And that's how I would be doing Twitch streams if there wasn't a chat here. I've kind of amended my streaming style over the years to interact with the chat more, because I enjoy it. And for a long time, Twitch was just something I did to have someone to talk to. Because obviously making YouTube videos all day is quite a lonely job. So Twitch was just a little hobby. It's only been in the last year or so where I would consider myself a full-time streamer. And if YouTube went away, I could probably just about survive off of what I earn from streaming. It would be serious belt tightening, but I actually have eggs in more than one basket now, which is nice. What about Millwall? Exactly. What about Millwall? Move to the Russian First Division just so we can hear you try to pronounce the names. I'm not looking for a job anywhere. We're top of the league, or we were top of the league. We still are top of the league. So I'm not looking to go anywhere. But Brentford's such a good job that if I get offered it, I'll take it. But if I don't, we'll just see out the season with Clyde and hopefully get promoted. The one I'm Swan, the one I'm Swan, the one I'm Swan, the one I'm Swan. There is a way. There's a record button on here. Hold on. We're doing a recording. Right, kill the music. The one I'm Swan, the one I'm Swan, the one I'm Swan, the one I'm Swan. Did that work? The one I'm Swan, the one I'm Swan, the one I'm Swan, the one I'm Swan. So now, every time he scores, the one I'm Swan, 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 the one. Oh, it's the LOLLUJO remix, everybody. The one I'm Swan, 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 the one I'm Swan. Robert Jarvis, we don't. Robert Jarvis, we don't need. Robert Jarvis, we got Robert Salino. Beautiful. Like that. You can be Zealand with his goal music. No, I'm not a loser. I have the talent to be able to communicate a goal without sound effects by saying, "By Jove, a goal!" That's all the information you need. So I mean, I hold my hands up and say I've never watched Zealand stream. So I don't actually know what he does. But I do notice that he usually has over 1,000 people watching. So is it seriously? Ah! This is all I needed. Do I get 1,000 viewers now? Just by... Just with that? Is that all I needed? He doesn't stream a showdown. I mean, I don't watch him on the stream a showdown either. Because we're all considerate of each other. We have our... Oh, I suppose he does do it to me, doesn't he? He's not considerate. I have my Go XLR set up so that I don't take over other people's streams with my sound effects. So it only goes to you lot. That times 10. I mean, that seems silly. I'd need to move the Go XLR nearer. I have to lean to touch it at the moment. Oh, I did notice Dupe put a picture of his setup on Twitter earlier. And he's got a little stand. So his Go XLR sat upright. I need a stand for mine. I didn't know they did stands. I don't know if he's bought a specific thing or if that's something he's fashioned himself. I want a stand for my Go XLR. And I can have it stood in front of the monitor. I just want him to score again now. I want to play the song. You do ring bells when you score in the showdown. Yes, I do. I keep meaning to put them on the soundboard so I can have them in every stream without Anna telling me off. This is unfortunate. Record the bell. I haven't got the bell near me at the moment, but I will. Bye, Kev, forever if you go Brentford. What? Oh! Ball over the top! Look who it is! Oh! I was on my way. Dupe only seems to have one drinking thing on his desk. Yeah, his desk's awful. He doesn't use it properly. He's got all that empty space and nowhere with no cups. He does have a fridge in there as well, which is mad. He must have a bin overflowing with stuff just off camera. My player will never see you again. Ah, okay. He might do. You never know. Oh! Kev, would you do a one-off draft of NFNG to see who's the true champion? Yeah. Although I'm just going to beat him this month in the showdown. I wouldn't do it before he's turned up in a showdown that I'm in, because obviously he ducks me in the showdowns. He probably won't be in this showdown because I'm in it and he's afraid of me. But once I've smashed him in a showdown and proved that he was only the interim champion, I'll do a one-off draft with him. Yeah, why not? I love beating people. It's fun. I have watched Dynamite. I enjoyed it. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. Oh, come on. This would be a lovely time to score a 96th minute winner. Oh, look at the space he's in. Surely. Oh, I know it. He got the assist. It counts. What if he smashes me in the showdown? Ben will never shut up about it, but he won't though, will he? Ask him to talk to Lando Norris. I don't know who Lando Norris is. Both turn with your belts and declare you both the true champion. I mean, I'm the true champion. I assume you weren't happy with Christian's face-to-face with Kenny. It just seems, if that's what he's there for, Kenny Omega doesn't need Christian to put him over. I guess the one good thing is it's a higher level guy who Omega can just beat in a short feud while Moxley's off on maternity leave. And it means Omega can carry on with the belt collector and not have to keep beating Rey Fenix or whoever his next challengers might end up being. So it keeps Omega busy for a while. I wouldn't want to put Miro up there straight away and have him beat Miro, for example. Miro needs to go on a big unbeaten run. Well, he looks really happy to be having his picture taken. Dun, 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 dun. Have you seen Omega is taking on Rich Swann or Moose? Yeah, belt collector. And then Kota Ibushi at the Tokyo Dome in January, surely. So he's got to be AEW champion until then. He's got to keep all the belts until he's won the IWGP again. They've even got rid of one of the belts to mean he has to carry fewer belts as part of his belt collector gimmick. But surely that's where we're leading to. He's got to hold on to all these titles until January, when he becomes IWGP champion again. Then he can slowly start losing them all. Yeah, and as the Ben Hopkins brand says, it's got to be Adam Page who wins the title off him. But probably not until like February, March next year. Was the Brentford job filled? I haven't had a message saying I didn't get it yet. No, not yet. Hammer Page will be the first ever person to kick out of the One-Winged Angel. Okada's kicked out of it, I'm sure. I mean, Moxley effectively kicked out of it on Sunday. He was so far away from the ropes when he got his foot to the ropes, he had to kick out of the pin to get his foot on the rope because they kind of botched it a little bit. As I've said to you all before, you grumbly old grumblesons, if you don't like wrestling talk, the chat is there for you to move the conversation towards something more interesting. What I'm not going to do is go, oh, they don't like it, let's sit in silence until someone comes up with a new topic. Our chat moves organically. These wrestle folks might not like it when we're talking about marmalade, but we'll talk about marmalade for a few minutes if someone brings it up. So if you've got something better, give us something better. Otherwise, we're going to get really into the weeds on wrestling. Eating flame-grilled steak-flavoured Doritos. Didn't know that was a flavour until today. I'm fairly confident that's not a flavour of Doritos. I think you've made that up just to be controversial to move the chat along. Marmalade's not gross. Marmalade's ace. Let's talk about testicles again then. I mean, I don't really want to talk about testicles for free. Now I know I can get paid to do it. I have an FM question. Does the rivalry have any meaning in game, do you think? I think it activates the big game player trait. So it makes it be treated as a big game. There's a guy on YouTube who does a reliving the Monday Night Wars series. Nice. If you could remake or replay any game from your childhood, what would I remake? I don't want remakes. I want new games. I'm so done with remakes now. I'm fed up of them. Give me a new game. Because the games from my childhood were perfect. Plus, my favourite game from my childhood, they remake every year. They call it Football Manager rather than Championship Manager these days. But they still remake it every year and make it a little bit better every year. KFC flavour crisps are great. I had some of them the other day. They're really good. Have you seen the Netflix film on Baggio's out soon? I heard it was happening. I haven't heard any more about it since. Charlie Barnacle. Can you see the difference in the home and away game? Like away games being more difficult? What, in general? Yes, definitely. Remaking games and films should be illegal. Illegal is perhaps going a little bit too far. But yeah, I think they should stop wasting their time doing it. What's the worst game I've ever played? Lords of Football. I coach Blackstones under 10s and I'm currently doing a Bourne type save of Blackstones. Thanks for the inspiration. You're welcome. Coming from a former Blackstones player, lovely to see my old team getting a little bit of support. What do I think is the biggest change to FM in the past 10 years? I don't know, when did the 3D match engine come in? That was probably more than 10 years ago now, wasn't it? It all kind of blurs together. I don't remember. You'd have to tell me what stuff has happened in the last 10 years, and then I'd tell you what the biggest change was. What do you think? The last message that I sent, Kenny's been hinting about the order of... I think that's probably not the case. Hope you're on the club icon list for Blackstones in game. I should be. Biggest change surely was the preset tactics. Maybe. Although it didn't really change very much. The actual options under the hood are pretty much the same as they were before. I guess the 3 phases of play in the tactics thing, that was quite a significant change. Biggest change to FM was when people started to make content on it. There was always content on it, it just wasn't always video. I mean, there's been blogs and forum posts and stuff for at least 20 years. It's always been a well-covered game. It's just the technology wasn't there for people to do stuff like this 15 years ago. Got a youth player come through at Weymouth touted as the next Phil Foden. Wow. That is pretty rare. Oh, oh, oh! He's in again! The Guinness Walker to the Barnacle. And it's 2-1 and oh, my back is killing me. I should not have been sat in this chair for as long as I have now. But I can't end the stream without knowing whether we get the Brentford job. As soon as we find out one way or the other, we're ending the stream there, I think. I've already gone for longer than I kind of intended to this evening because my back is killing me. But I can't leave us all... I'm not streaming again until Monday. Can't leave us hanging for 3 days. Posture check. I think some games need to be remade. Actually, you know what? I really enjoyed the Pokemon remake they did the other year. Really enjoyed that. Because they actually, like, properly remade it rather than just polishing. I think it's the remasters that annoy me more than the remakes. Like the fact that GTA 5 is coming out on PS5 is just stupid. The remake of the first Pokemon game that was on the Switch, the Eevee and Pikachu versions, I thought that was a lot of fun. It was just a complete remake of the original one. Yeah, Let's Go. I thought that was great. Of calling into work sick because of a bad back. What would a teacher say if it was a student? I didn't care if people were off sick. If I was still a teacher, there was one of the admin women at the school I worked at most recently was a trained physiotherapist. So I threw my back out there once and ended up getting manipulated around in the office and was fine. It felt like this. I was bending over to pick something up. It locked up like this. And when this happens, this is going to be sore for a week now. But she bent and prodded me and twisted me around and like, oh! Beautiful. She fixed me. I was fine. Oh, this deserves another one. What a finish. And again. Beautiful. Wish I could be a teacher. Dream job for me. Do it then. What's stopping you from being a teacher? Where do you find these goal machines? Barry Fry finds them for me and then I just polish them up. Oh no, don't ruin it now. Oh, that takes the shine off a little bit. Do you think buying an Xbox Series S now and waiting to buy a Series X in 2 years makes sense? Probably not. My question would be, why buy an S now? What is there on the S that you can't play on the Xbox One or your PC at the moment? What do you need a new Xbox for right now? That's because as someone who got a PS5 on launch day, there is nothing to play on it that I can't play on my PC or a last-gen console. Still, there is nothing. So I would just wait until the Series X is in stock if that's what you want. Oh, is this only the Spuffle trophy? Why do we even care then? Yeah, if there's nothing really that you want to play at the moment, then don't worry about buying one until there's a game you want to play on it that you can only play on that. Hydrate, I will. PGCE school direct interview stops me at the minute. They're not that bad. I've been on worse interviews for jobs. I had a lovely mince pie before my PGCE interview. Me and Sheepdog had our interviews at the same time. Not at the same time, in the same place on the same day. And I'd been divorced about a year, I think, when we went on those interviews. And we went to Costa Coffee in the centre of Bedford before and had a gingerbread latte and a mince pie. And there was the girl who served us them. I remember telling him that was the future Mrs. Chapman. She was a very attractive lady and she was very nice. Never saw her again. And as we spoke about earlier in the stream, I'm utterly inept in those kind of situations, so never would have actually had a conversation with her. But yeah, that distracted me from the interview. So go and do it in Bedford. Go to Costa in Bedford. She'll be 8 years older now. Hopefully she's looked after herself. And it'll give you the similar effect. I failed 3 interviews due to experience. What? I don't really understand that. Have you not had any experience? Because I mean, they always recommend going and getting some classroom experience before doing your PGCE interview. So I volunteered at a local school for a term as a teaching assistant. So I would recommend going and doing some volunteering. And then get a reference from the head teacher of that school to take along to your interview. That's what I did. Oh, is this penalty shootout still going on? What is happening here? All we care about is whether I got the Brentford job. I've just seen somebody mention something like the Mass Effect 3 ending. I was completely satisfied with the Mass Effect 3 ending. I never really understood what people's problem with it was. It made perfect sense to me. But then I hear a lot of people were weird and thought Shepard was a man. So they played the whole Mass Effect series wrong because obviously Shepard was a woman. Oh look, the penalty shootout's still going on. People always say, Kev, what new thing do you want adding to Football Manager next year? I want them to stop this happening. Penalty shootouts either have everyone scoring or nobody scoring. You never have like a 5-4 in a penalty shootout. Oh, it's still going on, everyone. I couldn't have 2 different Shepards. And I certainly wouldn't refer to her as Fem-Shep. Unless you're going to call the other one Mal-Shep. But I can't play through games twice. I'm in for the story. Just Shepard is a woman. Whoa, we've actually had a save there. Yeah, I can't replay games. I don't really like rewatching films, or I can force myself to do it for from the Marvel stuff. I like looking for Easter eggs, but games I can't replay. Oh, hooray, we made it through. We're so delighted and happy. Get you play FM every year, because it's different every year. FM doesn't have a story. I make my own story. Story-based games I can't replay. Like Civilization, I'll have lots of saves on throughout the year. Or throughout the life cycle of the game, because it's a different story every time. But story-based games, I can only play once. Because once you know the story, what's the point? Sometimes the story will be so stupid that I won't even play the game. I got 2 hours into Fallout 4 and just stopped because the story was nonsensical. Even though I loved Fallout 3, loved New Vegas. Put over 100 hours into both of them. Got 2 hours into Fallout 4 and was just like, nah. Yeah, I only played Detroit once. Because I have my Detroit story now. I don't want to know what the alternative stories are. I was very satisfied with my story. Yeah, Fallout 4 for me. Your kid's been kidnapped, which is fine. I'm now motivated to go and get my kid back. I understand. And then you go to the first village and all of a sudden you forget your kid and you want the shiny metal armor and you want to play house building. It's like, what the hell is this? Why am I helping these guys get a shiny metal suit? Why am I now building a village? I'm looking for my kid. It just completely took me out of the story. That it was just nonsense. Have we lost a game tonight? I think we did right at the start of the stream. Fallout 2 was best, but I'm that guy. I never played Fallout 2. Oh no, we haven't lost a game tonight. But I am that wangy guy who says Morrowind's the best Elder Scrolls game. Because I'm old enough. Although really, I think I probably preferred Oblivion. Come on, Brentford, are you giving us a job or not? I've played Detroit 3 times. It's very hard to make different choices. Yeah, because you're so into the game, aren't you? I don't know if you listened to the podcast, but Sheepdog killed What's-Her-Face early on. I don't want to spoil it. The girl who's the main character, or one of the 3 main characters. There's a bit where you have to protect the kid upstairs who's crying because her dad's up there trying to kill her or something. I can't remember all the details. But it's just before you become human as that character, and you're told to stand there and not move. And obviously you're supposed to go upstairs and stop the dad. But Sheepdog just did as he was told and stood there and didn't move and ended up getting killed and just played through the rest of the game without her. The fact that you can do that in that game shows just how cleverly that game was put together. You can lose one of the main characters super early on. Posture check. I hated Oblivion for the level scale in the Imperial City. Didn't fit law. Law splaw. Have I ever thought about playing a different game on stream? I've played different games on stream lots of times. I don't get as many views. I played a lot of FIFA when FIFA 21 came out. I did a lot of Minecraft streaming for a bit. I played some Among Us and some Fall Guys last year. I've played Civilization on stream. I did some Crusader Kings on stream. But nothing gets the views that Football Manager gets, so I just play other games in my own time now, and Football Manager's work, other games are relaxation. I've probably put 40 or 50 hours into Red Dead Redemption 2 since Christmas. That's been my big game that I'm playing at the moment that I'm not streaming. Yeah, GeoGuessr I've streamed as well. Love GeoGuessr. I can't really go back to GeoGuessr because I completed it. I got my perfect score, like 2 or 3 games in a row. I don't need to play it anymore. I have done some Raid Shadow Legends on stream. FM, you can interact more with viewers, exactly. GeoGuessr has a new mode, Battle Royale. I don't like the sound of that. I just like to make myself feel clever with GeoGuessr. What would you say is the best first save to start up with? Whatever team you support is your best first save. Still don't have the Brentford job. The longer it goes on, the more likely I think they are to offer it to me. Because this feels like they're going through all the proper choices first, and they might end up stuck with me and having to go with me. What if you don't have a team? Then pick the team nearest to where you live. How am I finding Red Dead Redemption 2? I'm enjoying it. The reason I started playing it is because it was voted the best game of the generation on our podcast. And I'd only ever played the first couple of hours and got bored because it's such a long tutorial. And I'm glad I went back to it. Hydrate. It's better than I thought it was going to be after I persevered with it for a bit. It's not the best game of the generation. but it's good. I'm enjoying it. It's Grand Theft Auto, just like the first. I loved the first Red Dead Redemption. I even enjoyed Red Dead Revolver way back when. But yeah, it's Grand Theft Auto. It's fun. It's a tie between the Witcher. See, the Witcher games, I've tried so hard with Witcher 2 and Witcher 3 and not made it more than about 10 or 15 hours into either of them. Yeah, I've probably got 20 or 30 hours playing Gwent. I enjoy Gwent more than The Witcher 3. But you're going to England last. I mean, things change. We might end up in England with Brentford. Epic username 4. Thank you very much for the sub. That puts us to 399 subs. Who's going to be sub number 400? I'll cry myself to sleep if I have to go to bed with less than 400 subs. I'm in the USA, so I went with Forest because I bet on them on a lark in Vegas. There you go. It's a good reason. Have I enjoyed any of the A seats? What's that? Assassin's Creed. Loved it until Black Flag. That's the one where they brought the boats in, wasn't it? And they dropped the Desmond story, which to me, it was all about the Desmond story. But apparently I was in the minority and people just liked running around in history, hacking and slashing. To me, that was just a means to an end. That was a way to get to the next bit of Desmond story. The one I'm Swan, the one I'm Swan, the one I'm Swan, the one I'm Swan. So yeah, I enjoyed it until the stupid pirate ships. I've not played it since. FIFA 13 was game of the decade. My word. We haven't found out one way or the other whether we've got the job yet. We're still waiting. Brentford are very much taking their time. And there we have sub 400, Ethan Holmes. Thank you very much. Is that going to tick over? I hope it's going to tick over. Did I play any of the Uncharted games? Yeah, loved them. Apart from that abomination that was on the Vita. It was just a gimmick fest. But the ones on the PS3, they were PS3, weren't they? Really enjoyed. Although I don't think I ever finished the last one. Because I think it just came out at a time when I was really busy. So I don't think I've actually finished the story. But the Uncharted 2 in particular, I think was really, really good. But then I like the Tomb Raider games as well, and it was just Tomb Raider with more testicles, wasn't it? Danos, thank you very much for the sub. Did I play No Man's Sky? No, didn't really appeal to me. Sea of Thieves, again, I don't like pirates or boats. I agree, but Black Flag storyline is a good one if you look past the silly modern day. I'm not interested though. The story was Desmond and the pirate ships were trash. Hated just getting the but I think I did persevere with it for a bit, and then there's one mission that you can't skip, you have to do, where you're on a pirate ship and you have to take some fort on a cliff edge or an island or something, and I just died like 4 or 5 times in a row trying to do it. I could not get this ship doing what I wanted it to do. I wasn't enjoying myself, and remember, this was at a time when there was top tier AAA games coming out every Friday. And there was just no reason to ever go back to it, and no reason to try again with Assassin's Creed games from then on. I loved Sid Meier's Pirates. I've never liked a pirate game. Kev couldn't turn the ship around. I know. That's exactly what it was. Muha, I get it. I'm great. I know I'm great. Thank you. I'm not going to mod you. If you are still here in 3 years' time, then you will become a mod. If you never tell me I'm great again. That's my promise to you. You have to be in every stream for the next 3 years without sucking up. Just be a normal person having normal conversations. And that's how you become a mod. In all fairness, the mods aren't in all the streams. They were before they became mods, though. The one I'm swan, the one I'm swan, the one I'm swan, the one I'm swan. Yeah, we're in the Scottish Championship. What's the furthest I've gone into a save? 30 years, probably. So that's how you become mod. Yeah. Beagles, thank you for the bits. Origins in the Greek are brilliant. Yeah, Anna keeps telling me that Odyssey is one of her favourite games of all time. And then she makes the mistake of telling me she's put over 100 hours into it. And I'm just like, you think I've got 100 hours to put into a game for a series that's 8 games deep and has already failed me once and turned me off completely? No. If it was 8 hours and the best game ever, I'd go and play it. But I'm not doing 100. I've not got 100 hours to put on a game now. Did I play the recent Spider-Man games? I did, and controversially, didn't really like them. Didn't play the Miles Morales one at all, because I didn't like the first one. It just felt like it felt like a reskinned Batman Arkham game, which didn't really, for me, it didn't fit Spider-Man as a character. It just didn't feel like a Spider-Man game. I really enjoyed that's another game I streamed for a bit. I really enjoyed the swinging around New York. I went to the Avengers Tower and had a full explore just swinging around the city. But the actual combat, I didn't really enjoy. It didn't feel like natural Spider-Man combat. So I just stopped. Did I ever finish the glitch fest at Cyberpunk? I didn't. I will go back to it. It wasn't that much of a glitch fest on PS5. It was fine. Have I played the XCOM games? The recent ones, yes. Not the original from way back when. I have the new Spider-Man game, but my potato PS4 can't play it. How do you get a PS5? I mean, I don't know if you've got them near where you are, but we've got these things called shops that sell them. So I just got one from a shop. Had to spend money on it, which was frustrating. They didn't just give me it, but yeah, I just got it from a shop. I have 500 plus hours in Dragon Age Inquisition. Oh, I love Dragon Age Inquisition. My favourite game is Mario Kart. I like a bit of Mario Kart. Oh, there you go. Asda and Game had PS5s today, apparently. I got mine from Argos, I think. Did I get mine from Argos? I think it was from Argos. But I made the mistake of cancelling my Xbox Series X pre-order. Should have kept the pre-order and just sold it on for double the price. But I've known how scarce things were going to be, because I always just, anytime any new console's announced, I'll always pre-order a couple of them, one each for me and Anna, and then we'll decide later if we want them. And in the past, we always have. But the Xbox, we decided we didn't really want, because it was around the time we were moving house, and we decided we'd rather have a American-style fridge freezer than an Xbox Series X. So we cancelled that, but I should have kept it and sold it. What do I prefer, Football Manager or Fall Guys? I mean, there's no contest. Fall Guys was fun for that one night. It was fun. Football Manager's been my favourite game for more than 25 years. What do I think of the rumoured new Switch? I'm all for it. I'll have one. Thank you. Have I ever played the Animal Crossing games? Yes. When I had my my COVID break last year, I played Animal Crossing pretty much all day, every day. I do quite like Animal Crossing. It's a fun, just relaxing game. It's one of those things like Minecraft or Stardew Valley or something that I can just have sat there and just play a little bit of every now and again. Have I played the PS4 Crash Bandicoot games? I've never played a Crash Bandicoot game in my life. I wasn't a PlayStation kid, so I never played them originally. And looking at them, it just looks like poor man's Mario. So, not interested. Zidane again moaning that I'm not playing his fullback as a fullback because he's playing as a wing back. Ridiculous. Will I play FIFA again? Yeah, loads. Probably every year for the rest of my life. I think I've picked up my Switch in months. I haven't picked my Switch up in months. But I do have Switch games lying around that I need to play at some point. The new Mario game I want to get stuck into. Why is Dan back again? Oh, this is about Courtney now. Come on, we're friends. All right, Zinedine. You old flirt. You're a friend, so I'll take your advice on board. Oh, football friends. Why can't I can't... Is it crashed? I don't want to walk out on my football friend. Posture check, hydrate. Football friend. Well, I don't know if I've just fallen out with Zinedine. I want to see if he's on my... That might help me get the Brentford job. I need to ring up Matthew. Say, Matthew, I didn't mention this before. I forgot. I am a friend of Zinedine Zidane, though. Oh. Oh. I know how it is. That's fine. Don't throw the F word around, Zinedine, just because you want me to play your player. Ha! It's Richard Donald Robertson. I remember him. Are Brentford ever going to appoint a new manager? Because I'd quite like to get the opportunity to do some scouting before the transfer window opens. I'm pretty sure it was September when we had the interview. When did they sack the previous manager? Oh, it was... So it is now over a month. We interviewed almost straight away. Should I declare interest? I don't know if I'm that interested. Why is a wrestler my rival and can it be sort of a Hell in a Cell match? Who's the wrestler? Who's my rival? Ah! Looks different from what I remember. Come on, then. Do I declare interest? Ian, you know what? You've been very patient, and I've been awful at giving you a player, so I'm going to do it right now. I'm not going to make a habit of this, but Ian, tell me who you want, and I'll do it now. What sort of player are you after? Apparently you want me to declare interest. So while we're waiting for Ian Lloyd's player... Got an outside chance for the job. Suppose I better actually talk to the media about this one. Has that made it more likely that I'll get the job? I'm still not the favourite. Boo. Highest value CM for a country of Kev's choosing, says Discord. Okay, so Scotland then. That's where we are. Under 21s. Central midfielders. Highest value. They've got some big lads in central midfield in Scotland. Chris Hurd. There you go. So that's Ian Lloyd. He's contracted to LA Galaxy. La Galaxy, if you will. Sorted. Am I favourite now? Now there's media discussion of me? No, still not. He's a stronger favourite now than he was before. Brilliant. The bookies have seen who else is in for the job. We might actually not find out if I get this job before 10 o'clock, and I'm definitely ending at 10 o'clock because I don't think I'm going to be able to stand up out of this chair as it is. I'm going to have to phone Anna. That's going to come and help me out of my chair because my back is so crumpled up. She's going to kill me. Why have you been sitting down for 3 hours? You know you're not supposed to do that. Oh, I was playing Football Manager. I'll delete it off your hard drive, but then we can't pay the rent. You should have thought of that before you sat down for 3 hours. Oh, I won't do it again. Just help me out of the chair. I mean, this is live footage of what will be happening at 3 minutes past 10. Dun, dun, dun. You sound like little Clates. He wishes. Leaning to one side is putting pressure on your back. I'm leaning to one side because I can't support myself. That's why I'm leaning on this side. It's the base of my spine on the left-hand side that I've hurt. So I can't hold myself up straight like this. So I'm leaning over onto it just to hold myself up on the desk. It's the only way I'm still upright. Oh, Charlie. Keep the cameras rolling. We could do seeing how to take the bleep out of me. Should make a new redeemable thing. 5,000 points for Kev to stand up and stretch. That's a good idea. I'll add that in for the next stream. Will you be able to get up with your back pain? Probably not. I'll just sleep here. It's fine. The chair reclines. At the end of the stream, I'll give you a little treat and show you me trying to get out of the chair. And you can hear the noise I'll make. I won't be in control of the noise. This is where the stair lift will come in very handy. I'll be all right with the stairs. Once I've got, I'll go and walk around the garden for 5 minutes. Once I've got up and walked around for a minute, it'll be fine. It'll ease off. I've made it much worse by sitting down for 3 hours without getting up. Much worse. I am an idiot. I need to get that standing desk. I keep looking at it. But they're like 300 quid. And it involves me reorganising the entire room. But yeah, if I had a standing desk, I'd probably stream standing up. And I'd probably do most of my editing standing up. Can we see Dave? I can try and find him. There he is. He's sleeping next to Riho. You should have a stream loo break. But I don't need a loo. I've got 2 bulging desks. Sitting can screw me up. Need to deadlift to help it. Need my gym back ASAP. See, when I really hurt my back this time last year, it was deadlifting. Deadlifting with poor form. Wrecked me for like 2 weeks last year. I had to... Me and Anna were at the gym together. And we used to do cardio bits together. And then I'd go to the weight room and she'd go and do girly things like that thing where you open and close your legs and do stuff with big balls. And I had to phone her from the weight room to come and get me because I couldn't pick the bar back up off the floor to put it away because I couldn't bend down. And she basically had to lead me out of the room holding my elbow and lead me back to the... Yeah, it was awful. Come and help me, I'm having big ball problems. It was literally... And she was done, she was changed, she was sat having a cup of coffee waiting for me because I would always take a bit longer than her. She had to come back in and come and rescue me. Open and close your legs with big balls. Please tell me that was clipped. That's what girls do in the gym, isn't it? Dun, 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 dun. Hello, Mr. LOLLUJO. Hello, Mr. Demand More FM. Does Anna take a book to the adductor machine? She doesn't have a book, no, but she does have her podcasts on. You know, Race Rovers. Personally, I'm familiar with their work. I'm trying to move my leg, but I can't. Oh, God. I'm broken. I am a broken man. Oh, don't usually get a Mr. in from... Sorry, Miss Demand More FM, welcome. I can't reach the mute button to mute. Right, do you reckon we're getting this job or not? At most, we've got one more match before I end the stream. I'm still not the favourite for the Brentford job. We've won 9 in a row. We are a good team. You're playing Kyle Darling the scumbag, were we? Well, I never. My favourite machine at the gym is the chocolate machine. Nice. You should raise a formal complaint with Brentford. They've made me stuck in my chair. Exactly. You're not getting the Brentford job. Stick in Scotland until you get the SPL title. Oh. Well. The Clyde board are hoping I'll stay. And I didn't get the job. There we go then. We're staying in Scotland. We're going to win the Scottish Championship. We're well clear at the top. We're a good side. And we have a particularly good striker. What's his name? I hear you cry. Oh, that really hurt. Oh. So I guess we finish up the season and see if the one-armed swan can cut it next year in the Premiership. But we are going to end the stream there. We're going to find someone to raid. Then I'm going to give you the treat of watching. And basically, it's not even the watching. It's the listening to me trying to get out of my chair. That's going to be most amusing. We are going to raid. We are going to... You know what? We're going to raid Niren. And you're going to find out... You're going to do some scouting for me. And you're going to find out if he's too chicken to be in the showdown this month. Bet he is. I bet he's already got plans. Let me get his name right this time, because I did it wrong last time I tried to raid him. Right. What should we ask him? Ask him if he's ducking me again this month in the showdown. I bet he is. Bet he's got something on. He'll have plans. Right, here we go. Before I hit the raid button. This is going to hurt. Oh. If I fall over, tweet Anna. Oh, this is as high up as I can get. My legs, my knees are completely bent still. I'm raiding. Press the raid button, Kev. And now I've got to bend down to do it. I'm coming back down. Ask him if he's ducking me. I'm not coming with you. I've got some screaming to do. Goodbye. Where's the off button?